Now back on the internet. As we are starting a little late, we're gonna breeze through introductions here real quick and just get right into the story so we can respect our lovely player on the East Coast time and let him get to sleep before 4 a.m. So, as always, starting in the top left, I have my good friend, John. Tell us who you are playing tonight.
Hey, I'm John. I'm playing Aoth, a human warrior who is trying to recover the king or the throne for his family.
Alright, and across the way we have Kenny. Who are you playing tonight?
Kenny, I'm playing Blitzkrieg, the Dry Queen Artificer, who is attempting to seek out a stolen holy artifact of his hive. And he will destroy everything to get it. Yeah.
Alright, and to the bottom left, our good Aarakocran Royal, Reek.
Yep, he covered it pretty well. Aarakocran, descendant of royalty, and just trying to have a good time, enjoying finding myself through martial feats.
Wonderful. All right, and sticking to the bottom here, Pete, who are you playing?
Yep, I'm playing Rin, also known as Rin Rattel. He is a Ashmar cleric, death cleric, who everybody just casually found out may or may not be the son of a god.
I suppose.
Son of a god.
And last,
Casually,
but certainly not least, Nick.
Hey, this is Nick. I'm playing Temin Ferncrest, a halfling on the run. Whether he's running from something or to something, he hasn't really decided yet. But excited to find out. Maybe mix of both.
Block his eagles.
Wonderful. Once again, sorry for the late start tonight. We had some audio issues with one of our players, and we want them all to be here when I kill them. I mean, when we continue this adventure.
Right.
So, now that we're all here, a very quick recap. Our adventurers were captured in the city-town of Westray, and rescued by some carnival goers who just happened to be rebel spies in the kingdom. After a very bloody battle in which many people died, they ran across the desert with the remaining rebels and had a little scuffle in the desert with some creatures, had their minds entered and searched to make sure that they were truly who they say they were and that they were going to be here for the good of the rebel people. You also learned that this location is the city of Carstino, and it is also known as the Blacklands within the Empire. So when somebody tells you to go to the Blacklands, it is code for Carstino. You had just finished getting your mines inspected, and you had begun to be led to meet the council. Bringing us back into game, let's just as a moment kind of check in with each of our players here. We'll do it in reverse order just to be fair. Temin, what's Temin thinking as he begins the underground walk through these tunnels?
Temin is going to be focused on, didn't remember his name, the Kenku wizard guy with the crystal skull.
For those who are watching the stream, that is the picture of Frederick, who is the person you're referring to, the Kenku that you were referring to. I've been working with some AI renderings to give you guys something to look at, but that is, yes, that is the best approximation of our Kenku Frederick. So I'm sorry to cut you off, Temin, but continue.
No, you should be good. So he's basically sizing him up and wants to, at the first opportunity, talk with not Ma and not the boy band guy. Sorry, I'm terrible with names. The artificer. Basically, Iliad, yeah. Trying to get a moment aside with her.
Well, let's get some dice rolling tonight. Go ahead and make a stealth check, not necessarily to be hidden, but just to find yourself in proximity with room to talk.
Can do. Let me do this.
As I switch over to Iliad.
12. Not great.
You find yourself in a place where you could speak to her, but you're not entirely sure how private it's going to be. You're pretty sure Frederick won't be able to hear unless he has extremely good perception, but there are definitely others around, including the other circus members, some of your own party, etc. But Frederick is towards the front, and you are, again, without abnormal hearing.
Yeah, I'm not putting anything on the table at this point. I'm just gonna say, hey, is there, when we get settled, I'd like to have a chat, the lot of us, about what's been going on.
Yeah, of course. Is there something that concerns you? I am no longer the person here who has seniority. If you have questions, there are far better people to ask.
No, it's more of what we might be doing, what you guys might be doing. See if we can't.
Oh, we're headed to the council right now. You will have that conversation with them. They are, well, typically this goes a little differently. Typically, when rebels join our forces, we interview them like we did here, searching their minds, and then the council or one of the council members will meet with them, and they will essentially determine where you would be best fit after some testing, and then distribute you among the ranks of our people.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen with this, huh?
She kind of like looks at you and kind of goes, your case seems to be a bit more unique.
I could live with that. All right. To the council we go.
So as everybody again continues moving, Rin, what is going through Rin Ratal's mind as you guys exit and move towards the council?
Well, this is the first time Rin has been without his weapon. So Rin is definitely kind of wondering where his mind's at. He's probably feeling a little different, having severed that bond in a way, I guess.
And how does he feel about it? Feels different.
Feels different. Feels more himself to an extent. Probably feels a little weaker, considering. But yeah, overall he's like, all right. Well, I kind of wonder where they're taking us, and
Oh, they took your weapon, that's right.
yeah, they wouldn't let me have it.
Reek. What's going through Reek's mind? You're underground, which I don't know how Reek feels about that.
When I am underground, I do feel claustrophobic, a little bit nervous. But right now, I'm kind of focusing on some of the things that I've been told and wondering if my loyalties will be tested.
Continuing up the line, Blitzkrieg. Where is Blitzkrieg's mind on this journey forward?
Let me see. I remember by the end of that session, I was a little drunk. So I'm trying to remember exactly what the fuck. Because I can't even decipher my notes, really. I think I remember, I remember. I think I had a talk with, what's his name again? I don't know, Iliad, I think?
Mm-hmm. That is,
and then
that is she. She is the one on the screen at the moment.
Oh, not Iliad, I'm sorry. It's,
Wonus?
Wonus, yeah. I think he was basically telling me that the artifact is dormant. The one I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
As I started telling him that, hey, I will have it no matter what, kind of thing. But with his words, I am probably right now thinking of the possibility that, hey, maybe it's just maybe it really is inactive, but he needs to see it for himself, and then kind of maybe even test it out. If you could get it again, and then try and determine if it's even needed anymore. Because if it's not needed, then everything changes, and he'll need to figure that out later too. So
Very interesting. Aoth, at the front of the group. What is going through Aoth's mind?
I'm apprehensive about what this new chapter might be in the development toward learning more about my history, where the throne sits. I want to learn more about the kingdom and see what allies we may have and really still find the purpose, as those questions resonate with me that I was asked before, as far as why should I even bother trying to be king? What do I bring to the table? So just mulling that over, and all the while looking around, if you don't mind, maybe doing a perception, but looking around as we walk by to see if there's any history, so I could get a feel of who I'm about to meet.
So for the first good portion of this journey, you are simply just in an underground tunnel. It is just straight. There are no offshoots. It is lit with torches as it goes through. It seems very well made. So I would say, first off, go ahead and make me a history check.
0. I rolled a 2 and I have a negative 2
Origin-wise, you have no idea, but you do recognize good craftsmanship when you see it. But as you kind of begin to kind of wonder this and kind of take this in, a door appears in front of your guys' path. It's a big double door, very large, brass, kind of on the sides, red wooden panels, very ornate. And as you approach it, you watch as, without even touching the door just begins to swing open in front of Frederick as he continues to walk forwards. And as you do this, you see bright light just kind of bursting into your eyes now at this point, as you have gone from underground for quite a few hours to now a very lit courtyard. And as your eyes kind of adjust, you see that you are now within the mountains, and there are very high peaks all around you, but you are in like a valley of just a city. A city kind of just tucked within the mountains of this area here. You don't get to enjoy much of it, as you are almost immediately led off to the left and immediately kind of turned in a backwards location and entered into a large chamber with a large U-shaped table. At this table, you see 13 odd individuals of very unique shape, color, some races, but you notice that there are still 3 seats empty. So there are a total of 16 seats at the table, but 3 sporadically are missing throughout. As Frederick goes and takes his seat, which is, 13 once Frederick sits. So you see 12, he sits 13. He goes, "Welcome. I did not... Do you all have a name, or are you still individuals? I care not, I just wish to introduce you properly."
I would say for now we're individuals, unless somebody has a...
Very well, then I present to the council, one Aoth Smith, and he kind of extends a hand towards you, kind of like to basically introduce yourself. He waits for a moment and goes, "Here we have a Thrycreen by the name of Blitzkrieg." He kind of gestures towards Blitzkrieg.
okay.
We have... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, just a bug-eyed stare at them like a bug.
He kind of waits for a second and nods, and he goes, "We have an Aarakocran from far across the sea, named Reek. Here we have a sea merchant from the southern coast of the Obid Strait. This is Rinratal. And lastly, we have here one of the halflings from the Deep Gardens, Temin. I'm sorry, I totally forgot your last name.
Ferncrest.
Yeah, Ferncrest, excuse me. Sorry, those memory dives, they get all jumbled sometimes. Now that I have made the introductions of you, it is only right that I introduce ourselves. As you have already known, I am Frederick. I am one of the Council of 16, and I primarily operate as a wizard orator, and I also help with the Sorcerer's Guild. You watch as the person kind of next to him stands up, and you see a kind of gray-haired man with kind of dark reddish yellow eyes. You also see that he is wearing kind of like a tan vest of like fairly good make, though he does look very tanned and very hardened by work. But you watch as he stands up to introduce himself, and he goes, "My name is Balir Khalid. I am a tiefling. I am also one of the farmers here in the village, and I specifically operate guilds." Excuse me. I specifically operate guilds within the druid circles. The person then kind of next to stand up, you see a woman with kind of cropped, straight auburn hair, gray eyes, kind of smooth skin, about 44 years in age, but looking fairly young for that. And she goes, "Hello, my name is Kali Hifed, and I specifically operate under Paladin's Guild. Pleasure met." Continuing down, you see another figure with just scars up and down his face, a brown mohawk that goes back, just dark black eyes, fairly short at 5'5", but you see he's just got kind of this rugged look on his face and kind of just not really a bad attitude, just a very serious nature about him. And he goes, "Ugh. My name's Timbomos. I operate in the Barbarian clan." He like looks around waiting for somebody to say something, like nobody does, and goes, "Ugh," sits back down. Next up, you see a person by the name, again, another 47-year-old human gentleman, kind of long curled auburn hair, green eyes, very tall, 6'3", looks very kind of like salt and pepper grade around the facial hair. He goes, "Nice to meet you all. My name's Sazam Shalom. It is a pleasure. I have been here for quite a long time. And I am glad that you have made your way to us. I am quite new to the council, as I am only recently joined the Warlock Guild, but I have my connections, and feel like it's only right that we meet some new people. So welcome.
So what's his name? Aragorn?
Sazam Shalom.
So them? Okay, Shalom. Warlock Guild. Gotcha.
Moving right along, you guys see a halfling, which kind of stands out because there are not many halflings you see here, Temin. But you see as halfling kind of sets up and goes, short, and again, auburn hair. You seem to see a theme among hair colors here. You're not sure if it's like sun-dried or dyed or what, but there's a lot of people with kind of similar hair colors. Hers is a little darker. It's kind of like a blackish red. But you see she goes, "Hi, nice to meet you. Chinlua Globlers. I've got out of the deep gardens a long time. Nice to see a friendly face down there, Mr. Halfling. Temin, I believe the name was, Mr. Ferncrest. I am a carpenter. I've worked hard all my life. And I am a pleasure to be part of the Council of 16. I can't wait to test one of y'all out and see what you got to bring.
Oi, what's Sheila's name again?
It's Glowcrest.
Glowcrest. Carpenter's Guild. Okay. Wait.
Excuse me, Glow Brace. My apologies.
Glow Brace.
Brace.
Okay. What guild is she in? I missed that part, sorry.
And also,
She didn't mention.
that's her. I pulled up the wrong person. That's Glow Brace. Thus the autumn hair, which makes way more sense because that didn't make sense when I said auburn hair before.
Okay, yeah.
But that is Glow Brace. However, the other halfling, which is the way I got confused here, is apparently unfindable in my brain. Ah, there she is. This is Dialife Riverwood. And she goes, nice to meet you, Dialife Riverwood. I am also part of the guild systems. I am not a leader of them, but I am a carpenter as well. And I have been part of the Ranger Guild for quite a long time as well. Pleasure to meet you all. And, all right. She kind of stutters over her words there at the end. And Frederick kind of stands up and goes, all right. Enough of the introductions. There's a few more of you here, but we'll get to the pleasures later. Let's get to what really matters. What is it that we can offer you, and what is it that you can offer us? AR, it seems to me from what I've noticed that you are the spokesman for this group. All right?
I can answer some questions. Usually we all see ourselves equally.
Please,
Happy to help, though.
Feel free to chime in. I just need to direct my question somewhere. So I guess we'll start
How can
with
we
you.
help?
What do you wish from us?
We're seeking allyship. See who is loyal to the old king and who is willing to fight to restore peace and sovereignty to the kingdom and reinstate the king's heir.
So you wish to become king. That is part of your goal, and you wish us to make that happen.
Yes.
I will not speak for everyone, but I will say that some may have opposition, as while you are an heir to a nobility line, there are many here who do not believe that nobility should be the reigning rule in this kingdom anymore. There are many believe that it should be perhaps a democracy, or perhaps something more along the line of that. If you wish to just come in and claim rightful rule for yourself, you may find yourself less allies.
I understand what you mean, and I can respect that. My goal is to restore peace to the kingdom. What I've seen that has happened to the people, to the subjects of the king, is hurtful, and no citizen should live under that rule. If my goal primarily is to remove the king from the throne, I believe that I would provide a just rule, but I'm not opposed to handing over the kingdom to a fair and just leader, if that makes sense.
Of course. So perhaps it's best to say that you would be willing to work with us to our mutual goal of usurping King Apodora. But perhaps when the time comes to seat someone new, a more diplomatic election process could be considered.
I absolutely would
With
consider
you, of
that.
course, being a consideration.
I wouldn't mind, but I will yield to someone who is more qualified than I, because I know I am not perfect.
And the rest of you, do you travel with this unkinged prince? Or do you have your own reasons for being here?
Bit of column A, bit of column B.
Well, let's discuss column B. What do you wish to get out of this then, Mr. Ferncrest?
Well, I've already gotten out of town. That was the start.
So
See the
asylum.
world.
So you wish asylum? Means to travel?
Freedom to travel. Not necessarily the protection to.
I mean nothing by that. I mean more so that if we were to give you purpose, to give you work that involved traveling, would you be interested in lending your talents in our aid?
That would be the best of both worlds.
I see bright future for us.
I work best in the dark.
We are underground most of the time. We have plenty of that. How about the rest of you? Are you all pleased with what Aoth has agreed to, or do you have your own wishes to be spoken of?
Aoth has my loyalty, for he who shed his blood with me is my brother. But I will say, I don't understand, all due respect, of the council surrendering the tyranny of a few for a tyranny of a many. Aoth is a good man, but I ask why you would ask for a free election when the throne technically belongs to Aoth. And I ask this looking indignant at the fact of the monarchic system being questioned.
He looks back at you for a moment, kind of seeing the kind of regalness in your standards, and he goes, "Yes, but kingdoms are conquered quite frequently. Do you not then honor the conquered new ruler? Because in that aspect, this is no longer his throne. But I agree with you that one tyrant for many tyrants is not a good trade. And I agree that I believe he has the potential to be a great leader. But he needs the people to believe that as well. And he is brand new to our people. And no one is here that has met him. And as far as I have seen," he points to his head, "he has only been to one small corner of this kingdom. He literally knows nothing about it. With all due respect, my good friend."
Fresh eyes have never hurt. I would say that the fight's not over so long as he draws breath and his claim is not gone, so he's not a defeated enemy and he is not conquered.
I see we think in like ways, but these are the reasons I ask these questions. Is there anything you wish to ask of us, Reek?
I have little to nothing to ask of you, but I would wonder what you would ask of me.
Perhaps a bit of patience and we will get to that in a moment. I wish to know all of your requests before we begin to talk about ours. But thank you for your concern. Only two have yet to speak. Do you wish to say anything?
Probably look at Reek as he talks about like how we are, how Aoth is honorable, I think. And then I'll be like, I agree, Aoth is an honorable type. But we'll also have an agreement. Our paths currently align. I will assist the Blade Warden in freeing these lands, or his hive. And then in return, he will assist me in finding an artifact. And I'll probably like look at Wonus again.
They did not enter this chamber with you. Iliad, Wonus, and Ma all kind of like veered into the city when they came through the doors.
I look at my left, I look to the right. Damn, he's not here. Okay.
Frederick goes, "I know the artifact in which you're speaking. I
You
have
do.
discussed the matter. I mean, I searched your brain, did I not? Remember, I am the ones who look through your memories.
Oh, that was a tingly sensation. Okay. I do recall.
He goes, but I've also spoken with Wonus about this, and it seems that he is of like mind to recover it, so perhaps we can accommodate your wishes."
We'll make something work. I need this artifact in my hands, and I need to do some testing on it.
I cannot make you any promises there, but I can put you on the team to go seek it.
Yes.
Very well. Lastly, my holy child? Perhaps not the best term for it. My demigod. What do you wish of us? And you hear kind of like some ooze from the kind of like...
What?
Like they were impressed by that he is being claimed a demigod.
I don't have any wishes of you.
But will you then respect the wishes that we have of you? Or a
Depends.
one-sided
What are
deal
they?
is not often a very good deal.
What are they?
Well, let us get into that then. Typically how we work here, and you hear like a loud like coughing noise as one of the other members stands up and he goes, "Oh, all right. If you wish to speak, you can." And you see a very short 4'9" looking woman, wavy, dyed black hair, very soft brown eyes, maybe like 20 years old. And she just kind of looks out at all of you and goes, "Hello, the name is Rosa Bemove. I am the first seat of the Council of 16. I know I may be young in years, but I have been a part of this Carstino city my entire life, and I wish to welcome you again. Typically how we introduce newcomers to our society is we will have one of our 16 council inspect your talents through various tests. Based on your test, we will assign you a guild or guilds to work within, and then you will go from there. However, as this is a unique situation with a group of you already having come in with a decent amount of loyalty and skill, we wish still to test you individually, but at that point, we wish to make you into your own individual team, but to lend our guild's aid with your various skills depending on where you would have been placed. For instance, if you are a great fighter, we would want you to lend aid to our less great fighters. If you are a talented wizard, then we would like you to help our younger wizards, etc., etc. Does this sound like this would be something that you would be willing to do for the aid of a place to stay? And then, from there, we would of course send you on missions to benefit our mutual goal of taking down the kingdom and recovering this artifact.
We would be grateful for the opportunity.
What do we get out of all this?
You get a place to stay, you have free passage, you are able to have access to any of our goods that we have here, both imported and natural. And again, you get opportunity to fight to free this kingdom that you feel so passionately to free. If you have no other wish of us, then what other wish have we to give you?
Would you potentially make me a new weapon to aid in this?
You see some like cross eyes across like a few different people there. And another individual who had not introduced themselves yet stands up. This person is a little bit older than the previous, but again, also still human. Very long, braided black hair, brown eyes, kind of rough, sunburnt pink skin. Also very short, about 4'9", but she is muscular, she is curvy. And she looks at you and she goes, "Currently, we have 16 rare magical items at our disposal that are given to those in the most beneficial situations to use them. Thus, the Council of 16 exists for that reason. However, if in your testing we determine that you are qualified to take one of these council positions, thus the item going with it, then we will do so and give you said item. As some of you have brought items with you, we will not confiscate these by any means, but we will allow you to continue to use them in pursuit of your own goals individually."
So, because you confiscated my item, you're giving me a new one?
Frederick chimes in at this one and goes, "Well, you and I will need to have a longer conversation after we discuss your abilities. let's just say that there is more to that weapon than most weapons. But again, this is for another time. Let's get through the Accord first.
So basically, we'll offer a chance to kind of train with the people, kind of like that.
So
Or
basically, you're offered place to stay, food, access to equipment, blacksmithing tools, etc. You have the responsibility then to work within the guilds to both help train people and learn, but also then to run missions for this rebel alliance against the Empire.
Cool. Okay.
I see what you did there.
I do have questions. What are the terms of exiting this alliance?
For what reason?
If it were mutually amicable, I don't know how your party interacts with civilians, interacts with enemies. Imagine there was a mutual parting.
If we were still in this contest and the war was not over, then I would say that we would either have to dispose of the memory or dispose of the person, as we cannot have information of our location getting out to any of our enemy, as this is our lifeblood of our people. Our women, our children, our defenseless are here. We need this secret to remain secret.
So if I'm not mistaken, this situation, anything that you provide to us is an act of generosity because we would be executed or our memories erased. We are in effect prisoners.
You are not prisoners, but you do remember that you came to us seeking aid. We did not come out and seek you. Yes, our members were the ones that brought you here, but they seemed to think it was a good idea. I agree with their decisions, but you had the free will to do this. I have the power to take individual memories, so you would not have to resort to such extremes as that if I am around. But I am not always around, and if there was a situation where you wished to leave, and there was not that possibility, things could get a little bit more permanent.
I'm not hearing anything I dislike, just hoping to understand the situation.
Of course. No worries. Well, with that being the case, does anybody have any other discussions before I split you all up into our various testing facilities?
No.
When ready, I'd like to speak to your leadership about what your goals are and how you intend to move forward. But
Sorry,
I will respect your plan.
You are speaking to the leadership. The Council of 16 is the governing body of this group.
Yes. With respect, I request an audience with the council, whether it be now or after the testing. I don't want to impose on your schedules, but I would like to talk about the plans the council has on how to move forward and what the strategy is.
You see one of the members kind of get a little indignant, maybe isn't the right word for it. But you see as the human who had introduced themselves before goes, yeah, see, I mean, I hear you. Like, don't get me wrong. The problem that I have here is you have a claim that we believe, but it's just a claim. And if we give you all of the secrets to all of our battle strategies, what's to stop you from just going to the king and telling them? You have not proven anything to us. I'm to believe, and he kind of like looks at Frederick at this point, that if you were to show us your loyalty, maybe run a few missions for us, that of course we would introduce you to our plans, as this is important to you. But you have given us no reason to trust you.
Very
Aside
well.
from
Thank
your
you for
word.
answering my question.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm sorry if I came off a little strong. I just, Come on, how would you feel if you were just like, hey, give me all your battle plans?
Oh, my apologies if it sounded like I wanted all the detailed, intricate plans that you guys have been working on for years. But as a leader of our team and a newcomer, I want to know the direction, the general direction that we will be moving forward.
Oh yeah, no worries. We're definitely... No worries. We'll get you settled and get all the information you want.
Thank you.
Alright, well let's start with you then. What's your skill set? I'm talking to you, Mr. Smith.
I am a blacksmith by trade.
Alright, wonderful, wonderful. You watch him kind of like make a note on a piece of paper. Goes blacksmith by trade. That's good if we need any economic help. What good are you in a fight?
I can hold my own.
Alright, do you have any training? Do you have any marshalship? Are you a fighter? Are you a barbarian type? Are you one of them clerics?
I'm a warrior type. And,
God damn it, Frederick, you have one of those fancy arcane writing utensils. Can't seem to find it. Alright, here's one. You just need to sharpen it with a knife. Alright. So, you're a warrior. You typically use swords? Do you use...
I am pretty adept at swords. My single blade, and I'm pretty proficient with the hand axe, although I'm yet to come by one.
Oh, we can definitely help you out with that. Alright, let's see. Who do we have here that can test you in fighter ranks? Let's see here. He's like going down a list of people. And he goes, it's kind of odd. How strong of a fighter would you say you are? I don't want to give you somebody too weak and have you just whoop on them when they're trying to test you.
My AC?
Yeah, I mean, how many years have you studied?
Ever since I was a child, I've been training with the blacksmith, and what we build, we test and fight with, and he's shown me the ropes, but I've no formal training.
Alright. No worries. I'm sure I'll find somebody good here. He's just like going down the list. He's like really like struggling to find like who he thinks is a strong enough fighter. And at this point, you hear one of the people who haven't introduced themselves at the table speak up and goes, Shazam, if you don't mind, I'm more than happy to test him myself. My name is Perrin. I am part of the Ranger Guild here, and while we are not specifically fighters, I feel like I should be able to test his abilities, what is needed. Does anybody have any issues with this? Yeah, very well.
I don't know.
Alright, I will then be the one to take you, so come this way. And again, for kind of this photograph, I realize is a little cut off. Perrin, again, maybe like 38 years old. Human. Again, kind of brownish black hair, bright green eyes. Seems to be maybe from the northern part of Apodor in the sense of like where it's a little colder. He doesn't quite have that sun beach that you see from the southern Apodorians. But he goes ahead and leads you off into a room to essentially begin your testing of the different things that they can end up using you for. But meanwhile, back in the room, all right, who's next?
I'm next.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, it's two of you, so eager. All right, well, both of you, same time. Let's go. What would you say your expertise is?
I'm really good at sneaking.
Sneaky fellow. Okay. Would you say that you're part of the rogue guild, or a roguish guild would be good for you?
That would be perfect. That would be right up my dark and gloomy alley.
That's what we like to hear. We can never have enough rogue spies, if you know what I mean. All right. Nada, you willing to test him? And you watch again, one of the other people who had not said much at the table looks up and goes, yes, this is fine. I will go ahead and test him. And you see as you look at him, kind of young but seemingly aged for his age, if that makes sense. Like, he's already got kind of gray in his beard, but he still looks like maybe late 20s. You see that he has a large lute strung across his back, bald head, golden eyes, but you see him kind of just like leaned back in his chair, very relaxed, does not seem to give a fuck about a air of importance, and goes, all right, Mr. Ferncrest, come with me. Reek, and what is your expertise?
Martial prowess.
Martial prowess. Similarly to Mr. Smith, or in a different fashion?
Not quite like Mr. Smith. He seems more skilled. I seem more brutish.
Brutish, you say? As you hear one of the gentlemen who did introduce themselves earlier, the guy with the scars all over his face, he goes, yeah, well, I guess we need to find out how brutish, don't we? Unless you're scared. Scared, that's fine.
I'm not scared of that can't catch me.
Guess we'll find out. Come this way.
I go that way.
Alright, there's only a couple of you left. Let's Kuri Rinwatal. What are your expertises? He says as he walks out the door.
Send me your younglings interested in learning gadgetry. And that one, Iliad, right? That's his name?
Her name.
Her name. Him, whatever. Its name.
You work
Send her.
with Arcane. You are an artificer then, yes?
Whites. Iliad.
Iliad is quite proficient,
Toys are
yes.
inferior.
But
They can use improvement.
I agree, and this is why I feel like there should be someone more capable to test you. No offense to her. Mavris, would you be interested in doing the test here? And again, this is one of the, I think the last person at the table that you haven't seen yet. Again, kind of very wrinkled forehead, older tiefling, kind of, you see these kind of like scarred marks kind of coming up from his eyes, and he goes, I am not a amazing artificer. I typically prefer the holy magics, but if I am the best option we have, so be it. I will do what I can.
Perfect. Let's go, old man.
He kind of rises and begins to slowly kind of walk out of the room to the door.
I like your antennas.
Not antennas, though I
No.
can see how you might misconstrue that.
Yes.
My face was once ripped off. These are stitches to keep it stone shut. Let's go.
You could use a carapace. All right. Then we just walk away. We talk about skin and flesh and all the weakness of it. So.
Last person left in the room with the remaining people at the table is Rin Ratal. Well, demigod. Should I assume that you are of divine nature then?
Yeah, that'd be safe to assume.
Best
I
person
can,
would have been Marvis there to work with you.
I can kind of, in a way, control life and death.
Sure, all of healing. It's not that impressive.
Nah, I do a little bit more than that.
We shall see.
I can heal, I can fight.
Most of our clerics are out on missions. They obviously have a very important job. I'm sure one like you would understand.
I also, dabble in herbalism and smithing a bit. I've learned a bit from.
Aren't you just Mr. Know-It-All then, aren't you? I don't know. Frederick, do you want to go, since you are the most powerful among us, since there is not a good enough cleric here? He goes, if you wish, I'm more than happy to go. I have nothing else to do today.
Frederick, like, what? Huh?
Come on. The Kenku kind of gestures towards you. At this point, I would like you all to roll initiative as we see the order in which you are tested.
Initiative. Boom. And I'll write it down. 14.
Blitz is a 14.
Jesus Christ.
Aeth is a 7.
Aoth is a 7.
Emmons a 25.
Temin is a 25. Reek is what?
18.
18 for Reek.
I don't know who this Temin guy is. He sounds different.
And Mr. Rutal?
That's rolling.
It's like he cleared out like something stuck in his throat. Now he's
Yeah, Temin took some lozenges.
I'm sorry, my voice just kind of got stuck like this.
18.
Well, dang it. Guess you'll have to roll again against Reek.
Reek also get an 18?
He did.
rolling.
What's your modifier?
No, we're not doing actual initiative, just roll again. Like, you can still use
I got a
yours.
nat 20.
Wow, he's kind of showing you up right now.
So,
Yeah, you're good.
You win.
I would have rather the nat 20 during my trial, but you know,
Nah.
I'll take it.
Gotta save all those nat ones for that. Alright. Temin.
Yeah.
First test question. Do you remember the name of the person that you're going in with?
Yes.
And they are?
Nada.
Oh, Nadir.
Oh.
I'll spell it for you because it will be important later. N-E-H-D-E-R, last name Say, apostrophe S-E. So Nader Say. That's his whole name. But he goes ahead and brings you into what looks like a training room, more so than anything. And he kind of takes his loot off of his back and kind of comes up to you and goes, "So sneaking and a roguish nature, yes? Do you have any other skills that you're proficient in outside of the basics for this?"
Well, with the help of my handy-dandy little goggles here, I can see better than I did before. I'm pretty good at seeing through people's bullshit.
That is very helpful. Almost
Not only am I sneaky, my hands are sneaky.
that could be useful.
And I've picked up this curiosity for religious facts here or there.
Interesting. If you have not heard, I am mostly a cleric by nature. Excuse me. We have clerics by nature within us, but I am not specifically one of the ones who has much knowledge in this, so I will not push you too far with religion, because you could give me an answer and I would have no idea. However, those other areas I do wish to test. So let's start with the most important among them. Let's see. I want you to do your best in the next remainder of the time that we are here to steal something off of my person. I want to see what kind of techniques you use and things like that. Do not be disheartened if you are not able to do it. Again, I am a master rogue. But for the purpose of this test, go ahead and roll your sleight of hand check, and then you can describe your success or not success at the end.
Sleight of hand is 18. I'm gonna reach out. Basically,
Before you reach out, I will tell you what the DC was so that you can describe the appropriate
okay.
result for it. But that way you still have the power in your own hand to describe your moment. His passive perception is 21. So based on that, I will act him out, but he will end up catching you. So what do you end up doing?
I'm gonna reach out to where he set his loot down and say, "Oh, this is. I mean, of course I would try to steal this from anybody in the alley. And as I like gesture towards the loot, I'm gonna reach in, try to grab a coin purse, little memento, whatever he has on his belt.
And as he's kind of holding this conversation, yes, it's a wonderful loot. It's great. You have quite deft hands, I will admit it. And you watch as his like left hand on the loot just kind of like stops your hand on his purse. He goes, most people would not be able to see that. I think you will fit well in with the rogue district here. But let's continue. You pass. And he writes something on a piece of paper for that. Okay. So we can put you with Thieves Guild. By chance, do you have any experience opening locks?
I've opened a few.
He presents you kind of very similar to what you'd seen Ma mess with, kind of a series of 5 locks.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, let's see how you do. You can start at any level you wish. The hardest is 5, and it will go down from there.
Do I have to choose an order?
You do not, but
Or just...
if you wish to bypass easy locks, again, I don't want to waste your time.
Alright, yeah, let's do lowest to highest.
Very well. Go ahead.
And this is just straight sleight of hand, right?
Yep.
17.
DC was 5, so... Click.
11.
DC was 10. You struggled with this one a little bit more, but you got it.
15.
It hit the DC on the number.
And nope, 11.
11. And you struggled with the 4th one. So he kind of watches you go through. So kind of like describe with those results, like what does it look like as Temin kind of goes through these?
Just kind of going through the motions. Left, right, up, back.
Because it seems like you have a fairly rudimentary understanding of lockpicking, in the sense it seems like you try the same approach to each lock without considering deeply. This is something that we might be able to help you with within both the Rogue Guild and the Thieves Guild that we have here. But you are proficient. You've made it through most standard locks. Again, this is a pass, but again, room for improvement for sure. All right. Let's see here. So, here we go. I am going to count to 20. Go hide within this room. And again, it's like an obstacle course within here with like lots of things to hide behind. It goes, begin. Go ahead and roll stealth check.
15.
Okay, 19, 20. I see you over there, right behind that there. But again, very good decision on where to go. You picked a darker area, but not the most obvious location. Again, quite well done. You pass on this front as well. Okay. All right, I believe 2 more things that I would wish to see. You said you had a little bit of religious interest, but do you wish to be a part of any religious guilds?
No, not that much.
Wonderful. So let's go ahead and obstacle course here. Ready, go. Make an acrobatic check to see how you do.
Oh, 15. 23.
23. 15 is what you need to easily succeed, so you very easily succeed. So how does Temin show off?
That Temin is going to roll and slide more than jump and vault where possible, just playing to his...
Wow, that was extremely fast. That's one of the, not quite the record, but really close. Yes. Speed and agility is definitely your forte. Alright, this is the hardest one for everybody. Don't feel squeamish. I am much stronger than you. Just know that. I want you to try and stab me. I want to see how much of a punch you can bring. I will not pay attention. I will let you kind of sneak up upon me. But show me your best shot.
This will be... Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Dagger.
It does matter.
22 to hit.
Okay, you do hit. And then, so roll your damage with sneak attack.
Yeah. Which is still 2d6. Yeah, still 2d6.
So 2d6.
All right, so yeah.
Plus your modifier equals.
Bum, bum, bum. Oh, not great. 9.
Yeah, 9 is not great. So you watch.
Oh no! Wait! No! Wait! I'm gonna re-roll that because I took Piercer. Thank
There you go.
whatever gods are in this world.
Thank
Slightly better. 15.
That is much better. So you watch as you kind of sink deep into. I mean, where do you stab him?
The right kidney.
Right kidney. Can you find in that sweet spot? You know, right between the L2 and the L3 vertebrae. Sweet spot. Sorry, my Chronicles verdict moment. All right, so you again, you leave a pretty good gash in this wound, and he kind of puts a hand over it, and he goes, "Well, I wouldn't say that you would be fit for any assassinations, but you were able to hold your own in a fight." He goes, "Fuck, this isn't gonna stop bleeding on its own. Shit." And he kind of just like wraps like a wrap around it to like kind of staunch it, but like he doesn't look bloodied or hurt or anything like he looks wounded. But that's about it.
Oh, and one more thing I forgot. I help with medicine. I rolled an 18 for a medicine check, and I'm going to use some of the herbs to kind of put in his wrappings as he wraps up.
He goes, that's actually quite handy. We always need more medicine. Are you interested in being the medical guild as well?
More than the religion, yes.
So this is my recommendation, and this is where we would assign you if it were not a special situation. But as you guys are a unit, we will keep you as a unit, but I still want you ranked within our group. You are going to be, or you would be assigned the Thieves Guild. You would be assigned the Rogue Guild. And you would also be assigned to the Medicine Guild. Now, in these guilds, among the Thieves Guild, you would be a level 2, which in these, it's levels 1 through 5. 1 is Experts, level 2 is Advanced, 3 is Average, 4 is Crap, and 5 is Children. So you would be a level 2 Thieves Guild member, and he hands you like a golden like pin that resembles this. He goes, if you ever forget, it goes platinum for 1, gold for 2, silver for 3, bronze for 4, and then the 5 ones again. It's mostly just children, so they're just there.
League of Legends ranking? What is this?
I'm sorry, did you hear a bug screaming from the other room? I wonder if they're just torturing it. No matter, we'll find out soon enough. Back to the Rogue. You are also level 2 in the Rogue Guild. And for the Medicine Guild, you will be level 3. Any questions?
I could live with that. No. I'm gonna head on over, see if I can't make some friends in those guilds while my friends are being tested.
Very well. Have a good rest of your day. Did we take any weapons or anything from you when you came in?
Nope.
Alright. Have a good day. Again, I am, needed to say, and if you ever need anything from me, I am level 1 within both the Thieves and the Rogue Guild. I am not a member of the Medicine Guild, but if you ever need anything from me, please come. I'm also part of the council. More than happy to.
Perfect. What I'm gonna
before you go.
Which way to the Healers Guild? I want to replenish my stock in the herbalism kits.
I would recommend, and this maybe sounds a little off, but get lost. Go get yourself lost in the city. Learn a little bit about it. That way you know where things are. If I told you, you would just go there, and then you wouldn't get a feel for it. Anyhow, off with you now.
We'll get lost.
Have fun. And he kind of dismisses you out. Hard cut over to first thanking Sam for lurking. Hi there. And then we are going to go to Reek. And Reek, first test question. Who did you go with?
I have that written down. Starts with a T. I could figure out how to work my phone. Tembonos?
Yes, his name is Tebomos.
Tebomos. So, I'd like, as we're walking in, as I'm following him, to do a perception check, see if I can find out, if I could kind of get a vibe as to where the situation's going, how I'll be tested.
Yeah, you kind of just walk behind him, and he's not really giving off anything as far as information, so to speak. Like, it seems like he is very much just walking ahead. He doesn't turn around to look at you. He doesn't seem to be perturbed by you being behind him. It seems like this person has a lot of confidence in both themselves and their own capabilities.
So as he's walking, as we begin to look into a place that looks like it may be our final destination, I'd like to possibly even try doing a sneak attack by lunging up behind him at his ankles with the staff of my polearm to knock him off balance before he begins any trials.
Interesting. Go ahead and roll. 1 second, I need to check on a feature here. Go ahead and roll an attack not at advantage, as he does have danger sense and has, excuse me, not danger sense, but he has alert, so he cannot be surprised.
17.
17, you swing for that leg, and you watch as, without even turning to see you, he just easily hops over it and then turns and kind of grabs your polearm with his hand. He goes, "Like you. You seem to have fighting spirit. You don't seem to give a fuck about the rules. It's good. You wouldn't last here if you did. We haven't started the test yet, though, so keep this fucking pole to yourself." And he shoves it back at you. And he turns around and keeps walking.
So it went better than it could have.
Kind of gets back to, not more than like 10-20 feet farther, and he opens up a door to a room, and within it there are a lot of like training dummies and like things like that you can do, a lot of weights and stuff. He goes, "All right, let's start this over. Again, my name, Tebomos. I am part of both the cleric guilds and the barbarian guilds, as well as various other guilds like the I don't fucking give a shit guild. However, my job here as part of the council is to test you and to see what kind of guilds you can do. So tell me, what are your skill sets?"
Coming into him as my own, but I enjoy a good scrap.
Alright. That's good. Anything else? Got any other skills?
I'm difficult to catch.
Alright. Evasive. Always good in a scrap. Anything else?
The upbringing I had through my clan protects those who I fight along.
I don't know what the fuck that means. It just sounds like you just
You'll find
backhanded
out.
me at this point. Alright, well, seems like the only thing you might be good for is fighting, so we might as well just do that. You like fish? I know that's kind of stereotypical, but I should ask.
I've enjoyed catching, killing, and eating.
Alright, well, how about this? Normally, we're not supposed to fight full out with the newbies, but you've kind of pissed me off a few times already. So I've just recently acquired a fuck ton of fish, and I will give it to you if you manage to win this fight. But if you manage to lose, you don't tell on me for kicking your ass.
Wouldn't dream of it.
How does that sound?
Fine by me.
Alright. Weapons and no weapons, I'll let you choose.
Weapons.
Magic and no magic, I'll let you choose.
No magic.
Very well. Alright. prepared?
Yes.
You watch as he kind of walks over to the side where there are various weapons and such. He goes ahead and he grabs two things. He grabs a warhammer that he begins to kind of like lift over his head, kind of swing around a little bit. Oh, he goes, should. And he grabs a shield to go with it, so he grabs kind of he's using it one-handed instead of versatile two-handed, because you can do that with warhammers. And he goes, alright. Let's give it a go. Roll for initiative. Try and make this beat down quick.
Oh,
12.
You go first.
So, what's the layout? How far away is he from me as he grabbed those weapons?
At theater of the mind, let's say you're within your movement distance if you wish. I will say
Okay.
the room dimensions, this is not a huge room. You're looking at maybe like 10-foot ceilings by like 10 foot wide on either side. Like there's not a lot of place to run. Like this is a like office, maybe, with the mannequins and stuff, maybe like 30 by 30. Maybe it's a little bit bigger because you are expected to like do some fighting here. So 30 by 30 by 30,
So-
it's a cube.
Son of a bitch. Just dropped a D20. Sorry, I have two. Alright, so, first I rage.
Roger.
That's not scrolling, but first I rage. And I take off, staying just nominally above the ground for movement speed as I skim the surface. And I skim past him at about 10 foot as I slash at his ankle with the backside of my weapon as to not actually injure him,
Okay.
but to actually show this
Roll to hit.
non-lethal blow. Dirty 20.
20 does hit.
Then for damage, 14.
14. Nice.
Oh wait, sorry, 1 second. Yes, 14.
Nice. You watch as your glaive kind of catches the back of his ankle, and again, non-lethal, but just splits it open. You go,
And I continue to move away, ending up near corner of the room.
like up in the air corner, or like down towards the.
Well, I mean, I was skimming the surface, so I'm not like staying far up. I skimmed straight past him, so I'm still nominally on the ground, but I am about 10-15 feet away from him, as the room would allow.
And again, he doesn't get an attack of opportunity here because of your polearm reach. He doesn't have the reach to do that, so he kind of sees you kind of heading over there, and he goes, alright, well, if we're doing no magic, there's no reason for me not to rage. And he just goes, and you watch as like the tattoos and the things just like begin to pop out, veins start popping out on his face a little bit, and he starts running at you with his warhammer and his shield kind of up at his chest.
oh no.
And he just nimbly just zooms right up to you, and he is going to go ahead and make a warhammer attack. That is a 17 to hit.
That does hit.
For 3 damage. So I rolled a 1.
So half to
Excuse me,
2.
5 damage. 5 damage. Half to 2, because he gets his rage
Half.
bonus.
Okay.
Oh, that was horrible.
Do I get my attack of opportunity for him, for Polearm Master, him coming within range?
Is it considered an attack of opportunity, or is it considered something else?
Let me
Because
check the
he has an
phrasing.
ability that allows him to not get attacks of opportunity against him. But this is not an attack of opportunity. I think it is a entering of the space ability. So I think you will get this attack.
That's my mouse is freaking malfunctioning with this. So 1 second.
Malfunction. Feng shui function.
Wait.
Don't think about it too hard.
It's
it
an
doesn't matter.
opportunity attack.
It is. Then it's just at disadvantage.
Okay.
I lie. It's not. Straight roll. Straight roll.
Okay.
This ability only matters if I'm
17.
wearing heavy armor, and he is wearing heavy armor. 17, however, misses because as you try and stick that glaive into his heavy armor, he goes, "Fuck you," and it bounces off. And then he hits you with the hammer, doing, again, not a ton of damage to you, but it is now your turn.
So now I am going to reckless attack, realizing I'm pinned against the side.
Do it.
As I ended up near the wall. And I got an 18.
18 just hits.
Awesome. So now, seeing what I have to damage to this. So that's 6 or 11. So obviously I'm going to take the 11 since it's reckless attack. And I drive my glaive between his shield, finding an opening to pull against his, or to drive across his elbow behind the shield.
He only takes half damage though this time with 5, as he is now raging. But with those 2 attacks, you see he's starting to hurt a little bit. Not quite bloodied yet, but you have made a couple of pretty massive injuries, and he goes, "Guess I should stop being serious then." Are you done?
Yeah, that would be the end for me.
He is also going to start recklessly attacking you. No, actually, he doesn't need to because you already reckless. So he has advantage on
Correct.
these attacks.
He already has advantage.
So never mind. He goes ahead and rolls a dirty 20.
That does hit.
And he's gonna roll. 5 damage. 6, 7, halved to 3.
Okay.
And then he's going to use his War Priest ability. After making an attack, you can make another one as a bonus action. And this one is a natural 20.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
And that is going to be an 8 on the dice, doubled for 16, plus 4 is 20 points of damage.
Halved to 10.
Big one.
So
Still not quite bloodied, but
so you
I'm a
watch
little
as
bit worse
he
for the
comes
wear.
in and he kind of like sticks you with the hammer like in the chest, and it kind of like stuns you for a second, and then he kind of whips it around and just like slams it at your shoulder, and you just feel like a massive bruise in your bones, like kind of shifting in your shoulder as he stands there, and he goes, "You're at least durable, aren't you?" Turn.
So as the mace glances off my shoulder, I am recklessly attacking, rolling off from the hit, and that is a 19.
This hit.
And that is for, I doubt I'm going to get better than that. That is for 11.
5.
And then Alarm Master, as I come by across his quad, reaching underneath his shield, I spin around and take my polearm, cross-checking straight into his nose, bridge of his nose, for 1 damage.
Ooh.
Wait, does that actually carry?
Yeah, that's still 1 minimum.
It doesn't get the extra. Yeah, no, it's just the D4. It doesn't have any modifiers. So yeah, it's just 1.
With these 2 attacks, though, he is bloodied at this point now, and you watch as he kind of is beginning to kind of bleed a little bit out, and he goes, "You know what the best part about being in the Barbarian Guild is? Blood doesn't give me any means to stop." And he comes back into you and just throws the shield to the ground, dismissing it, and he's like, let's finish this. And he's gonna now wield the Warhammer two-handed. Still with advantage because you reckless. That is another natural 20. And just for the purposes of the second attack, since he's gonna War Priest it again, that one is only a 13 at advantage.
War Priest was only once per long rest.
No, he has 4 of them per long rest.
Ooh, he's a feisty one. So 13, and that's with the modifiers.
Modifiers for the second one.
So half to 7 or
No,
half
sorry,
to
not damage. Not damage. That was to hit. I just rolled both attacks together.
Oh, that misses.
Okay, so then the first one, natural 20, hits. Second one, misses. Damage for the natural 20, not actually that good. 2 doubled to 4, plus 4 is 8 damage.
So back to 4.
And then at this point, he goes, all right, well...
I'm now bloodied.
He looks at you and he kind of goes, wish I didn't have all my armor on. This could have gotten interesting. No matter. Give me your best shot. And he kind of like holds the two-handed weapon now together.
So, recklessly attacking, obviously, because why not? That is, damn it, 16 as I strike at him, but having it does hit. Oh, he dropped the shield. That's right.
Shield. 16 hits.
9 damage.
Right.
So as he drops the shield, I catch the backside of my polearm, making sure the cleave isn't actually slashing him, coming down straight right on his forehead, and then pulling back around. As I spin around again, I take my polearm and pull back on the base of his spine and hit his head against mine.
Awesome.
For 2 damage.
2 damage. Abdul. I mean, at this point, you guys are trading blows with immense, just like brutality against each other. Again, not trying to kill each other, but just coming back and forth at each other. Did you reckless attack that time or no?
I sure did. I will always recklessly attack, by the way.
So
there's not going to be a time I don't.
So would he, but if he doesn't have to, why do it? Like, so that's why I keep asking. Like, if you didn't, he's going to. His first one is a 21 to hit.
Oh, definitely does.
And then using War Priest, he's going to attack again for a dirty 20.
That hits too.
Right,
this is going to be a trouble run, isn't it?
Swinging with the big sticks now. Ooh, that is 11 half to 5 and 9 half to 4.
So 9?
Yes, 9 total.
Mm-hmm.
And you see...
Okay, because I've been hitting the bottle.
You see with just ferocity, he like you've bloodied him at this point, you've injured him. He's so fucking jacked and ready for this moment. He goes, ah, and he's just like wildly just like swinging at you like a fucking reckless barbarian. Your turn.
So, you said 30-foot room. Mm-hmm. What type of creature is he? Is he human?
He's human.
So I actually disengage, skimming across the surface, back to the opposite side of the room to 30 feet away from him, and bonus action, rage.
Okay, so you re-rage because if you were going to essentially drop rage. Okay. Perfect. So you kind of fly up there and he goes, what are you running away? Maybe that's all you're good for. And he turns and he whips out a boomerang and throws it at you to the tune of... I don't think you can bonus action, or I don't think you can reckless ranged attacks. I'm like pretty certain.
I read into that. I don't think it says you can't.
I'll figure it out real quick. Feature, reckless... melee weapon attacks, yeah. Melee weapon attacks.
Okay.
So he pulls out his boomerang and he flings it in your direction for a 16 to hit.
That does hit.
It only does 1 damage, as it is not a very powerful weapon. But you watch as it comes back and he catches it and he goes, "So is that all you're gonna do? You just gonna hide up there?"
And not dignifying with the response, I lunge back in, but staying 10 feet off from him. Drive the glaive straight towards his chest, recklessly, for a 17.
17 hits now that he's dropped the shield.
4, so that's 8 damage.
Right, and 4.
And then, as I drive straight towards his chest and come off of his armor, I catch the bottom of my polearm back against his head for another 1 damage, because it's 2, half to 1.
Do you have to roll to hit for that, or does it just auto hit?
Oh no, that is actually roll to hit, so that's a +3 modifier. So sorry, that is a 17 again.
And for 1 damage. Okay, perfect. He's looking real injured, but he just has that tenacity where he just doesn't. He's not going to yield. Like, he's not going to let you do that. So as you kind of stab him with this, you're still 10 feet away. He kind of just grabs your glaive that you just impaled with him, and he kind of pulls himself closer in, kind of like one of those like I'll further stab myself to get closer to you. And then he is just going to recklessly attack. Or I'm sorry, you recklessly attacked already. So regardless, he's going to be rolling at advantage. He's like, "I'm finishing this here."
I can smell the body odor from this fight.
That is 24 to hit for the first one.
That hits.
And then for the second one, that is 22.
Okay.
14 have to 7, and then 10 have to 5, so 12 total damage.
And that, is it lethal or non-lethal damage?
It is non-lethal, but are you dropping to 0?
I am. So that's what I was gonna say. Is just I drop down to my knees.
Hold on, I want a con save because I want to see if he accidentally injures you here, because he is being very reckless with this.
Oh yeah, he does. That's a 3.
Roll me a D100 and let's see what happens here.
I gotta dig into the drawer. Oh, I'm gonna actually do this on D&D.
Just roll 2d10s.
Yeah, just pick a 10s and a not 10s.
75.
70.
You're permadead.
You
Have
watch as he comes through with these last blows. He comes down, and as he goes to like knock you unconscious, his warhammer catches part of your clothing and just completely rips off the entire front part of the clothing, leaving it just shredded. So your clothing is just shredded. That's essentially it. And then he kind of reaches down after he had kind of knocked you unconscious, and he goes, I mean, you don't hear this, but he goes, ugh, I guess I need to fix this, don't I? And he is going to go ahead and take. He's literally going to sit there for an hour. So meanwhile, other things are going on, but he's literally going to sit there for an hour while you are unconscious, and he is going to focus on his spells so that he can switch one of his spells to cure wounds and then cure you. Because he did not.
While he's doing that, am I there? Like, are we?
No, you're in your own test, which we'll get to here in a second.
Okay, so we're not watching the other test.
No. You guys are each in your own rooms for this. We're just doing individual cutscenes for you guys. But I just find it hilarious because he's like, I'm a cleric, but I didn't have cure wounds today. Sorry.
So as I come to, I look down and see my family tunic ripped and said, I'd rather have broken my spine. You know how far I have to go to replace this clothing?
He goes, there's plenty of places in the the city here that sells clothing. Here, and he will toss you. He'll toss you a gold. He's like, for the inconvenience, I didn't mean to. You definitely pass.
I let drop off the ground and reach across for the classic Predator arm shake, saying, "Dylan, you bastard."
And he shakes your hand heavily here. And goes, oh shit! I almost forgot all the like important stuff that we're supposed to do. All right, so Barbarians Guild, yeah, definitely, you're in if you want to be in. Anything else that you specifically want to do? I do my testing a little unorthodox, but you definitely fit there.
No, unless you see something else I have an aptitude for.
Maybe scouting because of your aerial flight?
I think that's a fair bet.
Do you have any other skills that I didn't see in battle?
Intuition. I look beyond the existing circumstances. But other than that, no. Strategy, that's about it.
Let's test that last one here real quick. What kind of person do you think I am? Go ahead and roll an insight check for me.
You had to pick insight instead of perception. Very well. That is a 7.
7.
Awful freaking roll.
I mean, you can just go ahead and guess based on what you think, because you're not getting anything else from that.
So, I think you're an honorable warrior. I think there's a little bit more to you than just basic fighting.
He looks back at you, he goes, yeah, you should just stick to the fighting. I think the fighting is more for you. Maybe we leave insightfulness to other people. Alright, well, that's it, we're done. There might be a place in town you can get some more healing. If not, just rest up and come see us at the Barbarian Guild when you have a moment, or when you're called.
Alright, and I proceed to fuck off into town.
Wait. Speaking of fucking off into town, next up we have our illustrious Rin Ratal. So Rin, first question. Who is your person?
I'd probably do cleric dude as well. Can I do the same?
You were assigned a person and you didn't even remember who your person was.
I don't remember it. Man. I'm sorry.
Such high quality, Pete. You were given Frederick as the other cleric
Frederick
had left.
Boy.
So you watch as, again...
Yeah, the cleric dude.
He's not a cleric. You watch as the Kenku kind of takes you back and he goes, Ratal, wow, very interesting. I enjoyed looking you on. Not often do you get to see in the mind of a child of God. I'm not a cleric, so this is going to be difficult, but I guess we'll kind of see how we do. Any specialties that you think you're good at?
I mean, pretty insightful, pretty good at medicine.
Medicine insightful? I mean, as a son of a god, do you have magical abilities or any spell casting or anything like that?
Of course, yeah. Of course, I can heal. I can do some damage. I can fight too. I just I look at my hand and I'm like, just missing a little something. Normally I'm pretty good at animal handling too. My Moorbounder's actually kind of waiting on us, so I was hoping to be able to get him in here now that we're in.
Oh, he's been taken care of. Don't worry. Not killed, taken care of. Brought
Okay.
him to a stable. He was a handful. He did not want to go willingly.
It's because he didn't see me.
Had to put him to sleep, but managed to do so. Regardless, all right. Well, we have quite a lot to go over here, so let's do the hardest one first. You've seen me for a few hours now. Tell me what you think of me, since you seem to be so insightful.
Can I roll an insight check?
Absolutely.
15.
You pick up some things about this Kenku. Based on the kind of color of his feathers and the way in which they're kind of very water and sun spotted, you assume that he was a sailor at some point. You also are getting a vibe of undead from this person as well. So they seem to be both undead and a sailor at one point.
Getting that undead vibe, I would like to use one of my Eyes of the Grave.
Okay. And what does your Eyes of the Grave ability kind of look like?
One of his eyes kind of glazes over and goes kind of goldish, and he knows the exact location of any undead. It's not behind total cover, isn't protected by divination magic.
Yeah, there's one right in front of you. Bright
Okay.
fucking beacon. Real bright. Like, super undead.
Yep, so his eye just kind of gold. He looks at him, almost seeing through him, and, well, you're undead. You're also previously a lot like me, a sailor.
The undead thing's far more interesting than the sailor, but I don't tell people that very often. Huh. The council knows, so you don't have to worry about me deceiving anyone. How do you feel about that as a holy person?
Not the biggest fan. Normally I don't associate. I've had my fair share of run-ins with your kind.
Is this going to be a problem?
I don't know. Is it? Are you? I've had one decent encounter. The rest have not been.
I can tell you that I mean you know ill will.
Do I believe him saying that?
Roll another insight check.
17.
Yeah, he seems genuinely legitimate. He goes, I am what most people would call a vampire. I have been turned undead about 40 odd years ago. I was fairly old Kenku at the time. I was around 20. But ever since then, I have studied magic, sorcery, and a little bit of fighting here and there when I can.
So you're pretty well versed.
I would say that I am humbly probably
Wise
the most
beyond your
powerful
years.
person here in the city.
Quite literally wise beyond your years.
Wisdom, not so much.
How old did you say you were?
Well, I'm 20, but I've been 20 for 40 years.
Okay, so Kenku normally you'd be dead though.
Oh yes, quite.
Interesting.
But again, not very wise. I am frivolous, is the way I would describe it. I like to experiment and try things, but again, I'm quite powerful, and the council likes to use me as they need strong magic casters against such a powerful magic caster as King Apodoro.
So, being a vampire, how do you survive? If you mean no ill will towards anybody, what do you eat?
Blood. It's like, I mean, you eat meat, don't you? You think it just falls onto your plate?
Yes, but do you drink others or strictly criminals? How do you decide who you feed upon?
I do not feed upon people. If I am in a war zone, I will not leave blood unspoiled. there are dead people around, why just leave them there? But I manage.
So you're not as strong when you're not feeding on people, though.
I am mostly a magic caster, and it does not really require that much sustenance.
Gotcha.
Anyways, we've gotten off topic. Let's get back to you. You
That
said
wasn't off topic. You asked me to describe you. I was showing you my insight.
We have gotten off topic, not you. You're doing quite well. He goes, but let's check how your medicine is. And you watch as he reaches into a robe and pulls out something you've probably seen before as a pirate, but he pulls out a revolver and he just sticks it into his shoulder and fires. And you watch as it just goes off as the bullet just shoots through the back of his shoulder. And he goes, "All right, treat the wound."
Do I know how much damage that would have dealt?
It would have dealt 11 piercing damage.
Do you want me to roll a medicine check to find that out?
You can do whatever you want to do for that, but you watch as it did 11 damage, which does not seem to be much to him, but it's still a bullet hole through his body.
Okay, well, my medicine check was a 26, so...
Describe how you would treat it. Like, you expertly take care of this.
I just, put my hands on him, and second level, cure wounds. And, like, just with my medicine check and that, I, heal him for 14 damage.
He feels as everything kind of just comes up in between your medicine check and how, again, much damage you healed through magical means. He goes, "Oh, that was extremely well done. Not only were you able to heal the flesh, but the necrotic flesh as well. You feel perfectly rejuvenated, and everything has been perfectly taken care of. It was masterfully done. Quite interesting. Definitely the medicine guild we should definitely put you into. The spy organization guild, perhaps as well. We'll talk more about that. Medicine and healing kind of goes hand in hand. There's the healers guild. That's where we typically send any with magical healing capabilities. Do you see any issue with that?
No. I also, I mean, I like to determine who lives and who dies, in a sense. I can do a lot of damage, and I have this knack for killing those that deserve it.
Well, as long as they are not our people, I will give you free rein to use your discretion in that manner. But you say you do lots of damage. Let's see what kind of lots of damage you do. Show me your best damage.
I look for my weapon down in my hand, missing it.
Do you need a backup weapon? There are weapons around here.
I don't know if they were as good as my previous.
No, but they probably didn't have the side effects that yours had. Again, we'll talk to this. I'm not saying it's a permanent nature. But is that really the best damage you can do as a melee attack?
Not at all.
Then why don't you show me your best?
I cast Guiding Bolt for a nat 20.
Who do you cast it at? Him or like a mannequin or something?
Well, he asked me to show him his best attack, right?
Yeah. You do it right at him?
So, yeah.
Okay. What's the damage? It obviously hits natural 20.
48.
48 damage. Damn. You watch as this guiding bolt just like explode. I mean, what is your? It's like the black and white energy, right? It just kind of like courses through. So you watch as it just hits this Cancun, and you're for sure that you just murdered this guy. Like, you just did more damage than what would normally kill, like, 4 people. And you watch as kind of everything goes away. You see his feathers are a little singed, but outside of that, there's this, like, arcane field around him. And he definitely took some damage, but he's not even bloodied at this point. He goes, "That was quite impressive. definitely want you in our armaments. I do want to see your fighting skills, though. Here, he tosses you just a regular mace. He goes, "Come now, you might as well keep hitting me. You've done it so far."
I somehow can't seem to roll shit. 8, I doubt hits.
It does not. Kind of swinging. He goes, "Definitely fighting prowess. Maybe not your best. Perhaps you
I
did
take
need
another
that handicap." Go ahead.
14.
14 does hit. Go ahead and actually hold on. Go ahead and roll damage.
For 6 damage.
Yes, quite impertinent. Yeah, comparedly to your guiding bolt, though, it was kind of lacking. But no matter. Alright. Animal handling, we'll test it another time. I don't really feel like we need you within that guild, as you already have your own means of transportation. No reason we would need to give you horses or anything like that. So let's talk about the details. So I think you're proficient in 3 guilds. Healers guild, I would put you as a level 1 healer, which is top tier. Means that you can compete for your position within the Healers Guild for the Council of 16 spot, if you wish. But again, that's going to happen on another day. Spy Guild, if you wish to be a part of it, this is again our network of informants and such within the Empire. We'd say level 2 for that. Yeah, let's go level 3. Give you room to move up. And then lastly, I would say part of our arcane, kind of basically magic guild, but we call it the Arcane Guild. And I would say for that, you are also probably, we'll say level 2 for that.
Level 2 after that kind of damage?
He looks at you and he goes...
He tries to persuade him.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Garbage. Not very well. 4.
He looks at you and he goes, yes, level 1 would be more like this. And he touches a mannequin. And I'm just gonna roll this on D&D Beyond because it's too many dice for me. And he does 66 necrotic damage of blight damage as he casts 9th level blight into this corpse. And you watch as the thing just dissipates. And he goes, yes, that's more of like what level 1 arcane magic would be. And I am, yes, in the Arcane Guild. Perhaps you can learn a thing or two from me.
Perhaps you can teach me.
Of course. Alright, well, again, here are your pins. Again, got the silver one here for the Spies Guild, you've got a platinum one here for the Healers Guild, and a gold one for the Arcane Guild. Any questions?
Yeah, what are we doing about my weapon?
I will talk to you about that tomorrow. This is something I need to do some investigation into to see quite how dangerous this weapon is, and then we can discuss whether or not you really want it back. But I will not take it from you permanently. I just need some time to study it.
Study away. Is there any chance of some way to permanently store? Being a magic user, you would know this. Maybe another plane of existence or something, so I can take my Moorbounder with me into places and don't have to leave him outside as we came into here.
I do believe that there are devices that we could either find or enlist for our enchanters to make, or steal.
I'd just not like to have them, my Moorbounder scare the people of the town. The
people of this town are tough. But I understand your worries. Again, there's stables for them as well. But again, let's get you acquainted, and we'll take a look around. All right. And so with that, you are dismissed. And I believe we have Blitz and Aoth left, correct?
Oh, AF. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I guess I'm next.
Yep.
All right. Let's take a quick break since we are about 2 hours into the session here. And let's come back at 8:40 and we'll pick up with Blitz, and then we'll do Aoth, and then we will introduce you guys to the city as a whole. You guys will get your first peek of Carstino. Thanks all of you guys in the chat for hanging out. It seems like we've gotten some pretty good viewership. I hope you guys like the new imagery that you guys have been able to see with this. It's definitely something that I have enjoyed doing, and I hope everybody's having fun. So see you guys back here in about 10 minutes.
Theater of mind. Yeah.
You, the internet can hear me, and we are back. And we are going to pick up right where we left off, continuing on with Blitzkrieg. Blitzkrieg, the first test. Do you remember who is training you?
Actually, yeah. So as me and Mavericks was walking down our way toward wherever we're going, we'll continue our conversation about flesh. It's like, we grind down minerals into a pumice, and then we apply it to we add it into our meals. And sometimes we apply it to our carapace, and it creates a nice shine to it, and it promotes growth. Perhaps you could use the same pumice and apply it to your face. It might even heal your wounds. Or perhaps, it give you better skin, better complexion.
He very calmly is just kind of listening to everything that you say. He's not really commenting much on anything, really, and he just kind of listens and he goes, "So would you say that you are interested in joining the medical guild then?"
Huh?
Well, you seem to have ointments and healing salves. Is that something that you are proficient in?
I just look at him as no, why would I want that? I'm just teaching you how to clean your face.
Alright. To get ready. We are here, come in. And he kind of opens up another training room. This one much smaller than all the others. This one's maybe 10 foot by 10 foot. But there's a bunch of mechanics, mechanical tools and kind of pieces and stuff there. And he goes, "All right, well, to start, please."
I like this place.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I like this place.
Good. Tell me, we wish to find your skill sets. What are things that you are good at?
I'm good at building things. Breaking down gadgetry, rebuilding it into something devastating, beautiful, amazing.
So would you say you are both a crafter as well as an artificer?
He thinks about it for a second, but it's yes, actually, I do.
We shall see at what proficiency you are able to do. But first, is there anything else? Are you capable of fighting? Are you capable of strategy or anything of the mind?
Yes. That's his response.
I'm sorry, this is more of a I ask the questions and you give me the answers.
What kind of answers are you seeking?
The
I can shoot stuff. I can cut things.
cut, shoot. Right? Anything else? Very well. Show
Yeah, he's
me
Wait,
what
what else
you
would-
can build out of the things in front of me. You have 5 minutes. Go.
Okay, what do I see in front of me?
Whatever you want. Make up the story. What do you build?
Okay.
Make it realistic.
Okay. I will grab a bunch of metal filings, bunch of if I see gunpowder, I'll find some of that stuff too.
Yeah, there's some powder there.
I'll find a large, a little small canister somewhere that can contain all this stuff, and I just stuff it all in there. And then I'll find some sort of wickered rope string that has maybe a candle next to it, and then I'll probably start melting that candle into the string until it twines into place. Stuff it into that little canister, and then seal it up with if I find some sort of tar or gum or something that's a sealant, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna spit it and lug it out of my mouth, and then I'll
Effective.
slap it on there, and then this is from deep down, so it's a little stickier, and it just like sticks it on, and then I give it a little bit of a little time to aerate and dry. Here we go.
Did you just make me a bomb?
A what?
A bomb?
The ball of destruction.
Is the purpose of this to light the end of the wick, throw it at an enemy, have it explode, and fill them with shards of metal?
Oh, absolutely.
You watch as he makes some notes on a piece of paper.
You want to go outside and try it out?
He thinks about this for a moment and he goes, no, I feel like we should
What?
give it a try here. And
Yes.
he moves to the corner of the room and he goes, go ahead, make an attack.
Okay, I'll find like a flint or torch somewhere in this room because there's so much stuff here.
Mhm.
And then as I find all the elements required to create fire, I will put it down right under me, actually, like right at my feet, like right there. No safety. Like just like and just start like filing until like the sparks hit the line.
Mhm.
It's like, I don't know if I did it right. I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah?
but I need some. Do you have kerosene or some sort of like thing to? I think I forgot one element to this.
You watch as he kind of looks over in your direction and goes, come here. Let's not get you injured today.
What?
Just come here.
No. Fine.
I trust that you are able to make fire. And he snaps his fingers and the end of the wick lights.
What?
Yes,
You need
I
to
am-
teach me.
I am a cleric as well. I have power from the gods.
What to light your fingers?
And many other things.
I can see that being a useful skill. Good to know as I mentally note it.
And he goes and you watch the thing. It's like you're like having this conversation. It's like sizzling down. Go ahead and make me a intelligence check, and let's
Straight
see just straight intelligence, and let's see how well of a bomb did you make.
I got a nat 1.
Perfect. Roll 2d6 for me, please.
2d6. All right. It's like, it's taking a while. What's going on here? As I start walking toward it. 7.
7. So you watch as you again. It's taking a while, and you walk towards it. You hear, oh no, wait, and it
It's
goes off right into you, and you feel these shards of metal kind of like sticking out of your carapace to the tune of 7 damage.
Okay,
What does
well-
7 damage look like to you?
Well, before that happens, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
While it happens, as a reaction, like you see, like the blast is like kind of coming toward him, but then you can see like kind of like instead of just like engulfing him, you see kind of like kind of coalescing, and then some of it gets sucked into his chest. As I cast Absorb Element, which basically takes half the damage.
It's interesting.
So I will take, what, 3 points? Is it, or 4?
3, round down.
Yeah.
And he goes,
Mm.
very, very interesting. You seem both
What?
magically inclined and instruction inclined. Are you able to heal wounds? Can you bring yourself back to full health?
Well, yes, of course.
Show
It
me.
is in my saliva. And I create these vials to contain it
Show
for
me.
better injection. Huh?
He said, show me.
Oh, sure. He'll take out one of the vials. He has 2 left. And then it contains like a green slimy substance. And then he's just gonna basically just find like a little spot between his like carapace where it's softer. And he's just gonna squish it in and then inject it.
And this is your version of cure wounds, correct?
Yeah.
So,
Or just cure-
for the purposes of both game mechanics and the storyline, he goes, these vials, can you make them and then distribute them to others for them to administer.
I could. I just need a lot of water.
It looks like when I watched you do the injection that you use saliva from your own.
Yes.
May I try?
You want me to spit in your mouth?
No.
Oh, you want to use? Oh, I'm so misunderstood. Sorry.
No, but I think to test this, I should do it with my own lubricant to see if it is uniquely your own that it would be needed.
That's a word for test, actually. I am curious about your resiliency as well.
So he takes the last vial that you have. He goes, "Oh, shoot. Well, I need to be injured to see if this is going to work. Let's try that cutting ability of yours.
Oh, I could take care of that. No.
Give me an attack."
Okay, fine, no problem. Like even before he even finished saying it, just cut him 21 to hit with a dagger, and I cut him for 5 points of I just pierce him right in the.
21 does hit.
I was gonna aim for his shoulder, but I was like, you know what, that might kill him. I'm just gonna nick him in his arm.
Yeah, and you watch as the blood, and he seems very comfortable with his own blood. It seems like it does not make him squeamish, or even he doesn't really flinch at all when that happens. And he goes, "Oh, perfect, thank you." And very quick reflexes. It felt like you were ready.
The entire time twitching.
He's like trying to do more. He goes, he takes the vial and he takes the needle and he licks the end of the needle and he goes ahead and puts it in and he does it and nothing happens. He goes, so it does feel like it is uniquely a trait for you, but still administrable to others, yes? And he hands the rest of the vial of that same liquid back to you and he goes, you try it and see if it works.
Okay, well, because I think he used up my vial, right, for the injector.
Use some of it.
Okay. So I'll basically use the same vial and inject into myself, and nothing happens actually because I kind of ran out of spell slots.
Yeah. He goes, Interesting.
Well, I don't have enough juice in me. It takes time. You know that, right?
Oh well. While I am clerical, I am also an artificer and part of the Artificers Guild. My skills are similar to yours, but yet different. I am an armor creator. I am able to create magical armor that works as defensive systems for myself. And it also can do other oddities, and he watches you. He presses a button, and you watch as a lightning bolt shoots out of the armor that he's wearing. He goes, and look at this one here. And he hits another one, and it basically pulls out these night vision goggles. He's like, I don't need these, but I can still use them. It's quite fun.
Quite useful for the blind.
Yes. But anyways, it is interesting to see how your abilities work. But to the matters at hand, you are quite skilled craftsman. If you wish, you can be part of the Craftsman Guild. I would say at level. I would say level 1 if you wish to join them at that level.
He's a Craftsman Guild?
Craftsman Guild, yes.
He pauses for a bit, but do you have a guild for destruction purposes?
That would be probably more part of our arcane damaging, basically just damaging, whether they be wizards, warlocks, or anything that does damage. We throw into the arcane guild. We also. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll cut you off. It's watch this, and then he's gonna take his fingers and put it into the little divots in his chest, and then that's when it's crackle, and then he pulls out the little I keep forgetting the hectopod, and then he's gonna basically just toss on the ground, and then it lands on his feet. Check this out. And then he's gonna basically point at something. Are we outside or inside?
No, you guys are inside in a very small room.
Okay. I guess I'll just point it at like one of the walls. Fucking he doesn't care. He pointed at a wall, and then he's basically just going to have his hexapod cast a Eldritch Cannon Force Ballista as it charges up like
Go ahead and
bluish.
roll for it, just to see how impressive it's going to be.
Alright, it's 17 to hit, and then it's going to shoot for 19 points of force damage as it blows a hole, maybe, depending on what kind of material.
It doesn't blow a hole. These are very, very sturdy walls, but you leave quite a divoted destruction on this wall. And he goes, "Ah, interesting. Aim, so, but power, very good, very good. Yes, I would say for the Arcane Guild, level. Frederick might have an issue with this, but I'm gonna say level 2. Level 2 for the Arcane Guild. I think if you do not wish to build, the Craftsman Guild is probably not going to be a good fit for you. But perhaps the Artificer Guild, which is a little bit more technology-based, and I would say that you would be able to join the Artificer Guild at level 2 as well."
Artificer Guild level 2.
Arcane Guild level 2.
Arcane level 2 and level 2 Artificer Guild?
Correct, yes. They have gold pins. Holds them up for you.
That's really cute. So the Craftsman's Guild, huh? Can I join that one too? I believe I could join all of them.
Yes, of course. I would say for the Craftsman Guild, again, perhaps level 1, you are quite skilled at it. If you don't feel comfortable stepping up into an elite teaching position right away, perhaps starting at level 2 would be better.
I'll teach everybody. So he's
Level 1
happy.
it is. He grabs a platinum badge for the Craftsman Guild and goes ahead and gives it to you.
He'll kind of, just like how he stores his gold coins and whatever, he's just gonna find like these little nooks and crannies in his like garbage, just shove it in there.
He goes,
Great.
he goes, "These signify great importance. Holy shit, you just shoved that in your body."
Oh yeah.
Okay, then. Well, just make sure if somebody asks to see them,
I'll find it.
enjoy the city.
Wait. Oh, it's right here. I got it.
And he
right.
dismisses you to go about. And lastly, Aya, do you remember?
That's me. I do not.
You
It's
do
been a
not.
while.
You do not. Wow.
I think it was David Hasselhoff.
David.
That is quite a long name that I could have made. But if it is, then you're pronouncing it in a way that I have not. Let me go back and figure out which one of the fighters. It was Perrin. Because it wasn't a fighter, because we weren't sure if there was any fighters that can test you. So you watch as, again, this 40s man, few decades older than you, very, very emerald green eyes, kind of begins to walk, and unlike the rest, he takes you back outside into a fighting yard, and he kind of clears out an area, which is not hard to do, as he is one of the council, and so when he comes, people give in deference to him. But you watch as kind of a small crowd begins to form to see this newcomer and one of the council, and to see what it is that they're about to do. And he looks at you and he goes, "Aoff, was it? Aoff Smith, the rightful king."
Yes, sir. At your service.
I think it would be good for us to show the people what kind of a person you would be, what kind of leader you would be. I bring you out here to the public's eye, not because you are better or worse than anyone else, but because if you do truly wish to lead them one day, then they should be privy to what you truly have to offer. Would you agree with this?
Sounds agreeable.
Very well. Then we shall proceed as normal. What, as the newcomer of this organization, would you say you have skills to offer?
I am a fighter and a blacksmith, and a very adept blacksmith,
Very
And,
adept blacksmith.
and a fast-learning fighter.
Anything in particular outside of those generalities? Do you feel like you have powers of persuasion or strategy or influences outside that you feel like might be worthy of your attention?
I'm starting in the ways of a battle master. Typically, I can lean into a combat situation with more proficiency than some.
Okay, so you have a decent head on your shoulders, or at least you seem to think so. Let us begin with what you claim to be perfect at. Do we need to go to a blacksmith, or do you have means of smithing on the go?
I can smith right here.
Interesting.
I pull out the anvil. Well, I'm assuming now everything's been returned to me, right? So yeah, I'll pull out the anvil and have the sword. Or what would you like to see?
It's a very good question. Do you have anything specifically that you feel would both show me your expertise and also be something you're capable of doing? If not, I will give you a task. I am not a blacksmith myself, and I need to think of something that it would be worthy of somebody of your talents. He goes, someone go fetch me a blacksmith.
My travel companions have asked me to do things of varying skills, from daggers to hand axes and a half plate.
Half plate sounds fairly impressive.
That is one of the more challenging ones, but we can give it a go.
Do you feel confident in doing so? I do not want your name as a blacksmith to be hampered by a poor performance.
I mean, it wouldn't be a challenge if I just picked a dagger. Throw that together.
But you are thinking as a leader now, right? You must choose something both successful and impressive. And you must continue to do this for your entire time, for your every move will be scrutinized.
I'm going to build the hand axe that I need for myself to improve my
Practical.
fighting.
What do you need for materials? We will provide them as it is part of the task.
Thank you. I'll need some wood and some ore.
Anything specific as far as ore goes, or should we keep it basic to truly see your skills?
Well, this one's going to be for me. Do you have access to all metals, or?
Various degrees, but again, our stashes are used sparingly.
If you could spare some titanium, steel, and a small amount of gold.
Titanium is going to be a bit harder to find. It's not very common.
Adamantium? No,
Adamantium,
steel was...
weirdly enough, adamantium is actually easier to find than titanium. It is actually a property of these mountains, adamantium, so it's actually not too difficult. How much gold?
Then let's do that. An ounce.
Just for
or-
decoration.
Yes.
Very well. He kind of motions to somebody to go to go get it. The same guy who was like going to get a blacksmith. And a few moments later, you see somebody kind of running off to go get somebody. He goes, all right, well, we'll come back to this here in a moment. Let's talk about some of the other things here. What kind of, you said you recently started working into strategy and battle mastery. What techniques have you mastered so far?
I've been working on my dueling, becoming a more proficient with single-handed weapons. I've been working on combat superiority, and as a student of war, I'm also more proficient with jeweler's tools, which when I'm crafting, I tend to put in my signature on my work.
All right. Well,
and in the battlefield, I have the commanding presence as well.
Well, every good leader should. I want to talk more about the dueling and what you said after that. What was it? You said combat superiority.
Combat superiority?
Yes, what exactly do you mean by that?
So some maneuvers can help me in my attacks. Basically,
Is this more to help your accuracy or your power?
Either.
You can do both.
I can do either.
Very flexible.
It can be
One
with
or
a certain
the
amount
other.
of focus. I can do one or the other,
Yeah.
and have a stronger impact against my enemies.
Do you mind testing this before your blacksmithing, or do you feel like it would hamper your performance to have already done some sparring?
We can go.
Very well. Well,
It'll be a good warm up.
Haha, that is what I like to see. First off, I do not feel like we need to do any hands-on sparring to test some of these battle maneuvers. He gestures to a couple of like dummies that are kind of like erected here. He goes, I want to see first just how much power can you pack behind a single one of your attacks. So basically asking you to show, you know, how much damage can you pump into one? Can you use that ability to do as much damage as possible? So both still roll to hit, but then kind of utilize that.
Would I also incorporate the hunter's mark?
Not in this case,
Okay.
because it's not
Alright,
actually a
cool.
creature. But you might be able to use
Do I
it
roll the hit dice?
later. Sorry, say that again. Yeah, roll
Are we
to
doing
as
hit
well.
dice or
Yeah, roll
Okay.
both to hit and that.
does a 13 hit?
It absolutely does. And what's the damage?
Alright. It's gonna be 18 damage.
18 damage. He goes, that is quite impressive. Take down most warriors with a swing like that. Hello. Okay. Show me now the opposite. How accurate can you be? And he reaches down to the side and kind of grabs like a cup of water, and he kind of tosses it specifically on like a portion of the chest of one of these mannequins. He goes, there is your target. Show me how close to it you can get. So essentially this time he wants you to focus on the to hit number, the highest to hit number you can do.
Okay. I turn to go for it and I kind of stumble on, like, slide on loose gravel, and it's a 7.
Is that including your battle master ability to add to the to hit, or do you not have that?
I do have it, but I didn't use it because it's such a low.
He wants you to use it. He wants you to show him that. Don't worry, you're not going to need it for anything like combat-wise. This is
So
like
it's,
basically him, like, show me what you got.
So it's a 12 altogether.
12 altogether. He goes, interesting that even with such a frivolous slip, he was still able to, and he shows you, land in the target. Not perfect, but definitely shows mastery over yourself if you are able to focus even through distractions. It is commendable. Remember, not all enemies will be super strong. Alright. Last here is, you said that you're working on dueling, yes? Single-handed combat with another single-handed combat opponent?
Right.
Or does the opponent matter? Just yourself?
The opponent is irrelevant. If I have, if I'm fighting with a single-handed weapon, I can hit harder.
Alright, well,
With
let's test
pulling
this.
both hands.
He's like, and he takes off his bow, and he goes, this is not my forte, as I am more of a ranged weapon person, but you watch as he pulls 2 short swords off of his back. He goes, but we shall see what I can do here. Fight bloodied?
Let's go.
Alright. Respectful of each other's wills, though, yes?
Sounds good.
Alright. Roll for initiative.
18?
He rolled a 22.
Ah!
Natural 20 for 22. Would have been nice to keep that on one of the attacks, though. He goes, alright, well, I guess I'll start. He is going to go ahead and you watch as he kind of focuses in, like those green eyes begin to pierce, and you feel like he is like almost scanning you for all of your weaknesses as he is going to cast Hunter's Mark on you as a bonus action, and then he is going to kind of work his way around, kind of keeping his distance along the outside, kind of just making sure that he knows what's kind of going on, and then he's going to lunge in for an attack with his short sword. That is a 24 to hit.
That hits.
For 9 piercing damage. He stabs into you. He goes, I draw first blood. Now it is your turn.
Alright.
And he stands back, kind of. Right.
So I'm going to return the favor and cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Is there anything
And you
specific
see-
to how you do it? Yeah, go ahead.
And then you see the mist start to form, the black mist traveling like a shadow over his face. You see the crown kind of starting to take shape.
Ooh, character development. Okay. So you are able to successfully cast Hunter's Mark. What do you do next?
Does a 22 hit?
22 or 20?
Yes.
Either of them hit.
22. Alright, so with Hunter's Mark, I'm the worst at this. It's a D6, okay. 16 damage.
16 damage. You watch as you kind of take a shot to him and goes, oh, that was a good strike there. I have a feeling there is not going to be a lot of defense with 2 proficient swordsmen coming at each other like this. Kind of takes a breath and kind of settles himself. He goes, right, well, guess I go serious now. And he lunges in and he's going to go ahead and take an attack with the short sword again. That is a natural 1.
Damn it.
But he uses that as a feint, and he is going to attack again for a 15.
Sorry, the internet froze up on my end. Did he miss the first one?
He did, but then he went again for a 15.
I want to
Or you
take a
riposting.
riposte.
Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, and both of those are misses, but
Roll
I will
hit.
do my riposte. That's a 8.
8 to hit.
Yeah.
So you watch as he was going in, but then seeing you come up for that, he kind of like uses that to dodge, which is why he misses with both of the short sword attacks. And he kind of looks at you slyly for a second. He goes, yes, but I am also a 2-weapon fighter. And he comes at you with one more attack with his bonus action. That
Like,
is,
I know something you don't know.
it is a 23 to hit.
That hits.
For 12 damage. Are you bloodied?
Yeah, that puts me bloodied.
Yeah, so he kind of stabs you in that moment, and he kind of sees your injury for as bad as it is, and he goes, I've won this battle, but this was close. You were very close to blooding me as well. A couple more damage and you would have done so. Well met. You will definitely be welcome among the Fighters Guild.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
He is, for the first, if you wish to accept it, level 2 fighter among the Fighters Guild. Here is a gold pin. And as for the Battle Master as well, I'm going to offer you a little less there, just saying level 3. As you've just kind of recently started, I think there's some things you could learn. And he hands you the silver pin for that. And he goes, but the thing I've been most anxious to see, let's see some blacksmithing. Looks like, Henry, yes, come here. And you watch as a little boy, kind of with like black hair, kind of comes over with like a crate full of like materials for you. He goes, here you go, sir. And he's just standing there like wanting to watch.
I'll take it and I say thank you. I'll just kind of look at him and just acknowledge him being there. But all right. Let's see how these rolls go.
Well, out of game, do you have plans for a hand axe already?
Yes.
Are you just using
it's a DC 10?
Do you already have plans that you've made for this weapon, though?
Let me confirm that real quick.
Have you passed an intelligence check on it previously?
Yeah, I'm checking that right now. Yes, I do have one for a functional.
Okay. And if you wish to make a check for a higher than functional hand axe, you may do so. But if you fail it, you can always still rely on your functional hand axe.
Yeah. So I'll give that a try, kind of like.
So as you kind of sit down and begin to kind of sketch out plans.
I wonder if I could try that. If I change this thing real quick.
Okay. Go ahead and make an intelligence check, adding your proficiency bonus.
Oh shit. 19.
19. You feel like this new design could definitely yield some very good results, assuming that you do the smithing process correctly. And now you have a you have a masterworked hand axe blueprint, basically. So masterwork weapons can be enchanted. Mundane weapons cannot. So like if you just make a functional hand axe, you will never be able to enchant it. But a masterwork hand axe, you can get enchanted.
Nice.
He kind of looks over your shoulder at the lens and goes, oh, this is very intricate. Again, I know nothing of blacksmithing, but very, very pretty. Well, are you ready to give it a go?
I am.
All right. Well, let's see. Go ahead and make an athletics check. Again, with your proficiency. So if you're already proficient in athletics, it's just an athletics check. Well, let's see what you are able to roll.
21.
21. Ooh, very good. Again, you can't do better than masterworked, but the workmanship you put into this is of better quality. You could have made better material if you had a better design. That is how gifted you are at what you do, and you watch as the crowd is very impressed by your kind of work as you kind of begin to kind of pound out the blade portion of the hand axe, and you work down the wood, kind of shaving it down in different ways like that. What are you using the gold for?
So the gold is going to wrap around from the bottom of the hilt. It's going to wrap around like a double helix up to the top, where the hand axe, where the blade would curve. But as it leaves the wood into the steel, it's going to just follow that curve about an inch or two away from the blade and form. Oh, fuck it, let's do a crown.
And you were
Right.
brought adamantine, by the way, not steel.
Oh,
So you
okay.
do have the adamantine for your ore.
I think I want to.
Which
I'm
essentially,
trying to decide.
adamantium just makes it like indestructible. So you have it both masterworked and indestructible. Is essentially kind of how
Okay.
that works. Adamantine doesn't give you anything extra other than just like, or I think it gives you something for like crits, like 20s or something. Do something. You can look. There's adamantine weapons in the thing. Masterworked is not listed in D&D Beyond. That's a me thing and a 3.5 D&D thing, I think. But just remember that. But adamantine weapons do exist in D&D.
Okay.
But we have one more check to do. So make me a sleight of hand check for the filigree. You can still add your proficiency if you do not have proficiency in sleight of hand.
Okay. And this is for what?
For the gold, basically all of the work with the gold, all of the filigree, your very tiny, minute design work is very.
So this is 18.
18. Again, masterworked quality. And you make a beautiful design. You have a fully completed, masterworked hand axe with the design that you wish. It can absolutely be enchanted adamantine weapon. And you look as people are on looking and goes, this is prodigy level work. I mean, you absolutely have the responsibility, really, to join the Blacksmith Guild as a level 1 member.
Thank you.
He hands you a platinum blacksmithing pin.
Ooh. Maybe AF can finally make my fucking armor.
I know, with those rolls, I should have. I'm glad I finally have my hand up.
As you finish up with him, you see that among the crowd gathered, your companions have finished up their testing, and each of you have caught the eye of this testing going on, and you've watched the probably latter half of Aos blacksmithing project. But as you finish, he goes, well, again, I have nothing more to say to you other than welcome, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Get some rest, enjoy the town. I'm sure we'll call for you tomorrow to talk more business. Yeah, off with you now.
All right, let's go.
All right, but the rest of you are there.
Do we need any money for the places we're staying?
Yes, it's typical. Pretend this is just a regular city. Commerce still exists, but do not worry about running out of money. We will pay you when we have jobs for you to do. So, assuming you're not just flat broke, you should be fine for tonight.
About that.
Are you really flat broke?
I turn and look. I'm like, yep.
The rest of you?
I think I'm in the process of kind of helping Reek mend his armor.
I've never been more wealthy.
I'm fucking broke. Yeah.
Although that's a low bar. It's a really low bar, but
He kind of deep sighs and he goes, well, I don't want you to just have a terrible time your first night here.
Well, I have 2 gold. Does that count?
Yeah.
He goes, 2
I've got 6.
2 gold is pretty good and 6 is quite good, but here.
I have 0.
And he gives each of you a gold. So that's 5, so 1 for each of you.
Thank you.
And he goes, pull it alone. You can pay me back someday. But enjoy the town.
I give my gold to Rin.
Aw, thank you, bud.
You need this more than I do.
I appreciate it. I'll repay you one day.
He goes, great, you can repay me too, because that's really just 2 for you. You can just give them both back to me. All right,
That works.
you kids have a good time. I'm gonna go get a drink. And he just kind of wanders off into the city.
I need to find.
Oh, go ahead.
I need to find an herbalist.
A what?
Herbalist.
Oh, I'm an herbalist.
I need to find an herbalist shop.
I'll join you.
Fair enough. What is everybody else doing?
Yeah, I'm probably looking at Reek. It's like, so you're saying he just tore off your clothes? That's kind of odd. As I start casting Mend on whatever is left over in his tattered clothing.
You're
And
able
he
to
got
make
a
it
gold
functional, but
Saying
it
he's
still
somewhat
looks pretty
torn
torn.
off.
Okay. Oh yeah, needles and string basically is what I'll do, which is Mend. So.
The
That's
last
good.
half,
so much
the
you
last
tore
half
it
of the
off.
blacksmithing, you just see him over here just needle and thread on frickin' Reek's clothing.
One last loop right here. Oh, perfect.
I was gonna
As
ask,
I
do you
look
guys
down
wish
at
to
the tattered
discuss?
rags.
Do you guys wish to
Thank
discuss your test at all with each other?
I mean, they'd see me come out with a fucking grip of bands or badges. I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm just gonna sport my badges.
Yeah, I think I would like kind of because he told me like make sure to show it, and so I probably have it somewhere tagged somewhere like pretty noticeable. I think it's like what is it like one gold symbol for each level 2? Is it how it works?
So what it is level 1 is platinum,
Okay,
level 2 is gold,
okay,
level 3 is silver,
cool.
level 4 is bronze, and level 5 has no symbol because mostly just children are in that.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, so I guess you could say like somewhere like across like. Actually, it's on his cloak. On his cloak, you probably have like how you stitched a plat symbol, 2 gold symbol.
Mine aren't going to be displayed at all. They're basically be sewn on like the inside of some sort of like his cloak or anything. But yeah, no, Temin is going to keep that from being shiny.
Mechanics wise, do any of you need a reminder on what stuff you have? Because as soon as I tell you this one more time, I'm scrapping this piece of paper and I will never remember again.
I have level 1 craftsman, level 2 arcane, and level 2 artificer. I believe.
Correct.
Cool.
2 Thieves Guild, 2 Rogues Guild, 3 Healing or
Healers.
Healers Guild. Yep.
Level 3 healer.
Temin and I over here in the same guilds.
Oh, you're a level 1 healer, right?
So everybody's good,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean,
Sweet. No, I just want to make sure because I will absolutely. This is a piece of paper I wrote them all down on. I am not going to remember to put this piece of paper anywhere important. So I need
Pull
to
it
make
up
sure
there
that-
behind you.
So I need to make sure that you guys know. All right. So you said that you wanted to find an herbalist shop. How do you want to go about doing this? Do you ask around? Do you just like?
I'm gonna
wander?
big circle, little circle, wander around the outer edges of the city. If I don't find one by the time I get to the center, I'm gonna start asking.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Ooh.
I would like to assist him.
Feel free.
Can I just give him advantage?
No need. I have advantage already, so roll your own.
Okay.
For that.
With a haughty +0, 18.
And you, Ren?
17
You
with
guys,
a -2.
You guys search for not very long. You guys search for maybe like 10 or 20 minutes, and you realize that finding anything in the city without being told where it is a fucking nightmare. There is underground passageways that cut in between mountains into different sects of valleys, into different things. There's no directions, no nothing. It is a clusterfuck. It is an absolute just nightmare to try and find anything. You end up pretty quickly doubling back to where the rest of your group probably hadn't even left within 10 to 20 minutes of trying to find an herbalist shop, even with rolls like that.
where are we going?
I would then probably ask somebody.
This time I would say it's probably like a little after midday. You're probably catching towards afternoon, twilight. Would you just go to a random person?
Yep.
All right. Male, female. Who do you describe? Who you would want to go up to?
The first person I see.
The very first person. All right. You see a female human, maybe like 35, kind of wearing a long blue, very simple robe.
Hey, you there? Quick question for you.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Yeah, we're new here. We're just looking for first off an herbalist shop, and then second a stable, and lastly probably like a bar or an inn. We kind of need some accommodations.
Oh, that's quite a lot. I can't help you much with the herbalist shop. I'm not really part of the Healers Guild or the Druidic Guild for that matter.
Where did the druids hang out?
Huh?
Where do the druids hang out?
Well, I mean, if I was a druid, I would probably know that, but I don't.
Okay.
Sorry. But also, I have no idea where the stables are. But an inn I can definitely help you out with. There's one right down the way here. It's the Red Bucket Inn. You can see it because there's a red bucket on it, and it's the only place that you go where you don't go through the tunnels. So that's why it's so easy to find.
Got it. We'll ask there. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Off to the Red Bucket Inn we head.
Off to the Red Bucket. And it's just me and Rin at this point?
No, you guys had basically like searched
All together?
and, like doubled back to where you originally were because you guys got lost so quickly. So is everybody go into the same place then?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep
I'll tag
following.
along.
All right. You go ahead and find your way there pretty easily. You see again this large red bucket like hanging from a signpost. It's not even like a signpost with a red bucket. It's literally just a bucket hanging off. Inside it looks like a warm, well-lit kind of tavernous area. Circular tables, pretty nice, well-kept bar. You hear kind of a small like ludist playing in the corner. You guys go in. You see a dwarven gentleman behind the counter. He goes, "Hey, what you need?"
Yep, we're new in town.
Yeah, I can see that. You guys are colorful.
Yeah, we got our badges. You know.
No, I don't mean that. I mean like you're an elf and you're a tiefling and you're a bird. And I don't know what the fuck you are. And you're human, but like, holy shit. Talk about the start to a good joke.
Yeah, well, we all walked into a bar, and we were looking for
Oh, for something
the
to
Healers
drink.
Guild.
You
Well,
came into a bar
yeah.
looking for the Healers Guild. You're in the wrong place, mate.
No, we're looking for a drink, a room for the night, and we wanted to ask you a few questions, get the lay of the land here. We've all got places to be and people to see.
All right, well, the drink I can do, the room I can do. Healers Guild is what you typically need after you come here.
So where do you send them?
All right, hold on. Hey, Golem, come here. Come cover the bar for a few minutes. And he kind of like climbs his way out from behind. And he goes and sits down at a table. He goes, all right, well, you might as well sit down. Hey, Golem, bring us some beers. You watch as kind of a smaller dwarf, could probably easily be this guy's like son or something, come out, starts pouring some beers and goes, all right, well, ask away, newcomers. Always nice to have some new, capable people. Looks like y'all already on the top tiers of some of the guilds from what I see.
What is this swill? Beer.
Did you just call my beer swill?
Yes. I don't drink
Don't
mead.
mind him.
It's not from here. It's out. He
Don't
thinks
mind
everything's swell.
Did you just call my beer swill?
Yes. I don't like beer.
You better get a hold of your friend here. We're gonna have some problems.
I turn and I whisper and message Blitz. Just keep your mouth shut. Let's not cause problems again.
Fine.
I don't know if y'all are very familiar with dwarves, but the one thing you don't do, you don't insult a dwarf's beer. That's just not right.
Oh, apologize for him. Don't worry about it. It's again, we're new here. He's not even from here.
I'm sure it's just a cultural thing. I just don't insult
I get
the
it.
beer.
Take my water skin and I'll pour some water into the beer.
Oh my fucking god.
Much better. Carry on.
He was like crying a little bit in his hand.
Uh,
I'm just gonna charge him double. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's fine. Yeah, go ahead. He can pay it.
That's completely reasonable.
Appreciate the hospitality, and I take a sip. I'm like, it's a damn good brew.
See, but now I can't even
you
take
make
it
it yourself?
seriously because now I just feel like you're making up for him. And
I take care of
let's just get
myself.
past
Don't
the
worry
beer.
about it.
Let's get past the beer. Let's move on to the other stuff. All right, rooms for the night. Yes, assuming you have coin, we can do that. What else do you need to know?
Beer, obviously. But yeah, no, we've all got these respective guilds, but we have no clue where they are. So we're kind of looking for Healer's Guild first, if we can find that, and I also need to find the stables. I got my mount there. Got to grab.
Stable's probably gonna be difficult if you're trying to go out tonight. They're actually on the outsides of the city, and people don't go out after dark here. I'm sure if it's already in the stables, it's being taken care of. They do a great job down there. I wouldn't stress it. But I'll show you where it is on the map tomorrow. As for guilds, again, I have a map. I have a guild map of the city. You're going to need it. I'll definitely make sure that we send it up to your rooms. But guild hours.
Fantastic.
Did you just want to keep speaking then, or did you want me to keep going?
No, I said I appreciate it. Fantastic.
Yeah, all right. Like I said, guilds hours of operation are from 5 a.m. So like before even roosters come up, all the way till about 1 p.m. in the afternoon. Probably why you don't see anything because the guilds are all shut for today. And then typically from like 1 to 5, 6 in the evening, it's when you do any of your tasks for the council. If they're local, obviously, if you're going out and about and going into the kingdom, those are gonna obviously take more than just a few hours. And then typically for that, you got the rest of the night to yourself. So obviously, newcomers in town, you guys don't have any jobs. You guys should be good for the rest of the evening.
So we're good to go to the guild in the morning, but what if we needed to stop by some shops? Like, when are the shops open? Are there?
Maybe it wasn't quite. The shops and the guilds are kind of the same thing. We all here working to a common goal. So while we still have commerce and economy, there's not like really competition. All of our herbalists work together. All of our craft members work together. All of our, because we need to defeat the king. Who?
Got it.
I'm not really from the Abdul Empire. I'm actually from Vlad, but we gotta make a living somewhere.
So what are we doing the rest of the night then? What's the entertainment?
Well, I mean, we got this bloke over here who's playing the lute, but I don't know if that's really your jam. It'll get a little livelier here around 7, 8 o'clock once people get off their jobs. There's normally games, there's normally entertainment, there's normally...
You got a job for us, by chance? I'd like to help you out while we can, if we got free time. Quick dispatching of something, or...
He was thinking about it, he goes, and what about, like... Do any of y'all cook?
You said cook?
Cook, yeah, do you guys cook food?
I wouldn't trust him to cook, and I pointed to Blitzkrieg.
Don't
But,
do anything. It's all to my beer.
I mean, I'm not a good cook, but I could try.
I'd rather if I'm gonna give you a job, I'd rather be something to be good at. You wait tables? I got some really cute uniforms in the back. Put you in them.
I am not that broke. Which one's my room?
Oh, wait, you all want individual rooms?
I mean,
I mean,
what
you
can you?
But it's more expensive. Typically, we go up to like 4 in a room. Fits pretty comfortably. There's 2 beds.
What's the price of a room?
Just individually, like. Again, typically because we split it up between, it's 4 silver a room. So normally it's a silver person. Try to keep it cheap.
Yeah, what if we did 2 of a room? Since there's 2 beds.
Well, I mean, that would be then half of 4, so it'd be 2 silver. You good at math there, kid?
No, no. But
I put a gold on the table. We'll take 3 keys. 2 keys?
2 keys. Yeah, it's like 2.5. That's like 2 keys and a tip.
Yeah, we'll take 2 keys and keep the beer coming.
Alright. I mean, beer's pretty splendid too, but considering I already charged him double and I haven't charged you for the first round, we'll say this covers him and then maybe another round coming up to the rooms later.
I put another gold down. So 1 for the rooms and a tip, 1 for the beers.
Yeah, for sure. Alright. Yeah, you're good people.
Well,
I like
we're
that.
getting lit tonight, boys. And
Alright, other than that, I'll get you a map made up for tomorrow morning. But enjoy the night.
You have to make the map, or is it like... Alright, because I want herbalism, I want rogues, and I want
So
thieves.
it'll have all of them, he
Yeah,
said.
it's like
Okay.
the map of the city, but like these things are handmade. Like they don't just.
Yeah.
We don't have like a printing press.
So, you can bill all this to the charlatans unseating nefarious tycoon subtly, if you need to.
Yeah, we don't need to do like wizards guilds or anything, so you can...
We haven't agreed on that name.
I'm real confused. You just said a lot of words at me that didn't make a lick of sense. You want to try and come at me again with that?
Yeah, it's we're the charlatans unseating. Wait, I just lost it.
Yeah, that's not...
Yeah,
Well,
charlatans
not that.
unseating nefarious tycoon
Where-
subtly.
You guys should get an acronym for that if it's really what you want to go with.
It's not. It's not.
Yeah,
Well,
there's an acronym
in
for
the
it.
morning.
And if you say that acronym on my stream, I'm gonna have to reach through this computer, find your scrawny little neck, and maybe a better name. Hey, let me give you a little piece of advice. Better name, shorter,
Well,
more succinct, sends a message.
Well, that's the acronym.
Yeah.
Temin finishes his drink, grabs his next one, and if there's a key on the table,
Oh yeah, here you go. If you can fucking take him too, please.
Yeah.
Get him the fuck out of here as well.
Who, me?
Yeah, you too. You don't like my beer, so fuck you as well.
Yeah,
You can go
I
down.
will. Oh, did he say how much? How much? How much is
great
it?
start to joining the rebellion, guys. Great start.
He's already paid for y'all. Just everybody that I don't like, leave. Everybody else I don't fucking care about. And
Alright,
I don't mean
let's
like
go.
leave, like you have to go.
I'm
this
just
way,
drinking my
like,
beer.
Go up to your room, but just get out of my direct line of sight. I don't really care.
I'll turn around with Tim in, and I was like, I think I get the picture here. So he's like, okay. I think I offended him. And now,
You think?
Good job.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what do you guys? What do you wish to do with the last 7 minutes of our session?
Come up with a name.
I have a question.
That's probably what we should do.
Wait, no.
We should throw it up to the 6 years in the chat, which I know 5 of them are us. But for the 6 years in chat, what do you think the group name should be? We'll just call the session there, and we'll just use the last 7 minutes to brainstorm.
Is there an actual...
I like the name I came up with,
I
but
think the name
if
that you
anybody
came up with
wants,
cannot go on stream, so it's a dumb name, Pete.
Yeah, no, I am not for that
I
one.
thought you had inappropriate content or whatever on there.
Yes, but I have my own personal things that I care about. And no.
Nay.
Also, you
Somebody
should-
come up with a
you should
fantastic
care.
acronym.
You should care about that. All right. Got anything? If not, we're gonna just call it here and send our lovely fans home.
Bingo. I've got a question about that hand axe, but we don't have to do it on the stream.
Perfect. All right. Well, internet, it was wonderful seeing you. I hope you guys had a great night. Look forward to edited sessions coming out on YouTube soon. I'll tweet about it and put it out on Twitch when it happens. But in the meantime, have a great night.